Look at you now. No more dry skin. Your skin gets the moisture it craves with Olay Indulgent Moisture Body Wash.
Hey, get in. What? Who are you? I'm future you. Constipation with belly pain still coming back?
Yeah.
Mia, our doctor figured it out. She said it's irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, and Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort.
on YouTube Live. There you go.
Ah,
you got it now. Tell Miss Kim thank you for that.
Thank you, Miss Kim.
Thank you again, Miss Kim.
Not you, Harris.
I was just going to thank you, Miss Kim, anyway.
How dare you?
Miss Kim actually had something insightful to say. She said, if you guys are getting on to me too much, I can call her and she'll lay the hammer down.
Who?
So, just saying.
What?
Yeah, that's right, Randy. That's right.
What is he saying?
I
don't know what he just said.
He said Miss Kim said something insightful to him.
Yes.
When he called me last night about the audio that he allegedly supposedly sent me
and a check-in.
That was a millisecond of dead air.
Oh yeah. By the way, yesterday we recorded that commercial, and it was a hit. With everybody's happy.
Yeah.
Randy did a great job, but Harris wasn't part of the process.
Throwing me under the bus. I was the one who recorded it. Throwing me under the bus. I see.
Well, anyway, Miss Kim said if these guys give you too much grief, just let her know.
That's right.
And she will get on to us.
Yeah,
basically,
what
that means is she'll just tell us so we can mock you for running off to mommy.
That may be what
Miss Kim's got my back.
I don't know.
Shout out Miss Kim.
Thank you. She's got Randy's back more than she's got your back.
Yeah,
that's probably true. That is true. I understand that.
So we were talking about the fact that Pete Rose, Shoeless Joe Jackson, amongst other players, got reinstated by Major League Baseball. Drunk Rob Manfred woke up and just had a thought process, and I'm against it. Randy's against it. I feel like if you were ever going to do the thing for Pete Rose, you should have done that while he was alive anyway, but there's really no point to this. This is dumb. And I know that people are clamoring and other people are against it. So let's see what people have to say on the text line. Grand Mariner says, wait, did I just hear someone compare Pete Rose to a murderer? That's a little extreme.
I agree.
Well, we were just making points, but
yeah.
Harris, a Christian young man, so is one sin greater than another?
Actually, no.
There you go. No. Moving on. Just invalidated your argument.
No, that wasn't my argument.
Argument, Grand Mariner. Not everything's about you, Harris. I was talking to Grand Mariner.
My argument was that
your argument's already invalid.
My argument was that from the years 1963 to 1983, when he played by the rules and played super well, those should be good enough to put him in the Hall of Fame.
Well,
84 through 89.
Had he not cheated,
84 through 89 should not be considered.
Had he not cheated.
And when you are when you're defining Pete Rose by one act and just the fact that he cheated,
a cheater,
you're ignoring a lot of context, which is what he did for 20 years.
Whose fault is that?
It is his fault. It is his fault. I understand the act itself is his fault. But when he played super well for 20 years and is the all-time leader in plate appearances and at-bats and hits, that's also some valid context.
Gosh,
and he didn't break the rules. He didn't break the rules to get there.
What a shame.
He did it for 20 years.
You're right. What a shame he ruined
So those years where he played clean, played by the rules, and did all of that should also be taken into account. No. That's my argument. That's
Fish Tank says, I guess we just have to have everybody from the steroid era die. Then they'll all get in too. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah,
I guess so. Walter Mellon says, the only time frame that we know that he was cheating is right then. Yes, then he got caught. Well, how many other times do we not know about? Yeah, that's what I said to her.
Well, I mean, they
did a whole.
It's assumable that if he's gambling here, he was probably gambling back then too. Horn Ninja says, "Hello, fellas. I agree. Rose should not be in the Hall of Fame. He signed the permanent ban paperwork with his own pen. Sorry, bud." Rocky Top says, "Harris, can you give me a good 3-leg parlay on today's Major League Baseball game?"
So I do not. One, I don't bet on baseball. I can't talk about betting on baseball. And two, I don't do parlays. I am anti-parlay.
I feel like Harris would only be fired for the time that he talked about stuff. He should not be fired for the time before.
Right.
Rocky Top says, Harris is right, though. Let Pete Rose in. He did nothing wrong as a player. Leave Pete Rose, the manager, out. Let Pete Rose, the manager, player in. Is I think
that we know of. That we know of. But once he did it, it tarnished the whole career.
Grand Mariner says gambling is not a sin. Murder's a sin. Big difference. Oh, I think Jesus had something to say about the gambling.
So I'll say this at least, in terms of the faith aspect that Jeffrey brought up. I don't believe one act should define you. That's where I see it with Pete Rose. I think Yes,
Mama
he made a mistake.
Just killed a man. Oops.
He made a mistake. He did. And it's a thing. There should be consequences for it, which is, in my opinion, negating the years in which he gambled. Those should not be factored into his resume. They should be vacated.
So,
but
Harris, we don't need to keep making the same arguments over and over. I think your argument is well voiced, and so is mine. Let's hear from the super fans here.
You're right, Jeffrey. You're right.
Regal Beagle says, so far, the top 3 worst blender takes of 2025. Phil claiming LeBron is the best athlete to ever exist. Ralph comparing Scattaboo to Aaron Hernandez.
Oh my, that's bad.
Number 3, Harris and his Pete Rose, blah, 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 blah.
Okay, do not put me up there with comparing Cam Scattaboo to Aaron Hernandez. That cannot be
you're
that
in third
bad.
place. At least you're not above that.
At least I'm not above that. That's
right. Delicious says, you sound like Giants fans defending Bonds, Harris. Oh, are you a Giants fan?
I'm not a Giants fan. No. I do think Barry Bonds should be in the Hall of Fame. I do think that as well.
I don't. Wilbur says, actually, Lance Armstrong is missing one of his Titleist balls. Yes, he is. He is. That's true. Mm-hmm. Base Slappa says, he'll get a pardon from Trump. Well, Trump has said that is something that he wants to do. The only thing is, he doesn't run Major League Baseball or the Hall of Fame. But I guess maybe his influence did matter in this, because he was back in February saying this. So he says, over the next few weeks, I'll be signing a complete pardon of Pete Rose. Well, here's the thing. There was no crime to pardon, and the president can only pardon actual criminals. The crime was... let him think he won. He won. You won, Trump. You got this one. Thanks, man. Number 1 Rattlers fan says, arguing with a 5-year-old in the grocery store is useless when they don't comprehend. That's what I think I'm listening to.
Well,
Harris thinks I'm the 5-year-old, by the way. So
no, I don't think you're the 5-year-old. I think
Toby says, no, Harris is onto something. The shots I took during lunch shouldn't count as me drinking on the job after lunch. It's a good point.
That's a good point.
Bruno Baller says, I realize Pete Rose wasn't making the money that players make nowadays, but he was probably making a good living playing baseball. Not sure why I'd want to gamble other than it being an addiction. Well, yeah, of course it was an addiction. And, that's what I'm saying.
He must have
that was not the only time. It wasn't like he woke up one day as a manager and said, today's the day.
I mean, why does anybody gamble? It's for the competition. It's for the feeling, the rush of adrenaline.
It's not just that.
Or to make some side change.
Some people are trying to make money. Some people are chasing that high of getting the win. I mean, there's all sorts of reasons.
Pete Rose is more to the latter of what you said there. Just like Michael Jordan. It's all about competing. It's about the competition. It's about that adrenaline rush of the win. And I think that's what makes up a great athlete too. Is somebody that gets that rush. They strive to be the best they can be, no matter what it is. And in this case, Pete Rose did not have that anymore as a player, and he turned more to gambling to get that rush.
Walter Mellon says, Emperor Jeffrey, what a noble way to tell Harris to shut the hell up. We've heard your argument. Speak no more. Well, I'm saying that about myself too. Moist One says, once again say the Baseball Hall of Fame is a terrible representation of the history of the sport. And I've grown to invalidate its existence, so don't care what they do. Neener. There you go.
I actually feel like the Baseball Hall of Fame is probably the best one. Like the Basketball Hall of Fame is the one I look at.
You're going to argue with everybody.
I look at
You're very argumentative.
I actually can be. You're not the first person.
You should have said, "No, I'm not."
I have
perfect.
I have
you
passionate.
Just had the opportunity and just let it go by.
I have passionate opinions. Hey, I'm being honest. I think I can be at times.
Mr. Wilbur says, "Damn it! That FedEx driver who switched the samples for Ryan Braun needs to be kept out of the Baseball Hall of Fame."
Mm-hmm.
The FedEx driver.
Harris's dad says El Trumpo just established a presidential commission on NIL. Oh, is that official now? I knew he was talking to somebody about it.
So he made a commission. He made basically a commission for it, but he hasn't officially established it. He made a group, a committee with Nick Saban and known businessman Cody Campbell. So very interesting.
I think known businessman sounds like known criminal.
No,
just kind of sounded funny.
Yeah.
Heavy Metal Maniac said Pete Rose is a Hall of Famer. He deserves to be in the Hall. But to wait until after the gentleman has died and then do that to him. Putting him in the hall was a slap in the face. Sure, betting on baseball's bad, but my goodness, he did some legendary things while playing the game. So they had to wait until he died to put him in. That's very pathetic. Well, it could be also seen as very petty because, every commissioner probably knows the story of how Pete Rose treated the organization. So may have just been a thing where they're like, we'll show that bastard.
They're probably not going to put him in either, to my knowledge, just because they reinstate him doesn't necessarily mean he's going to.
Harris, understand that it's two separate things. Major League Baseball is not the Hall of Fame. It's the Hall of Fame to sit there and go,
exactly.
I mean, here's the thing. As much as we are all divided on this, on the show and in the audience, so are the people who are going to be deciding.
Very true.
I'd be surprised, but you know what? I bet he makes it in. Dimeback Dude says, just heard Jordan Lawler do a radio interview. He is very well spoken, seems humble. I am pumped for his debut tonight.
Yeah, he was a big deal coming out of high school. He was actually a Vanderbilt commit. And so he was like, I think, #1 overall recruit coming out. And so to see him balling out in AAA and making his debut, it's big for the Diamondbacks.
Against the Spread says, as a gambler and amateur biblical scholar, I can tell you exactly what the Bible says about gambling. I quote from the book of Eli. If one is to gamble, he must do his homework and place smart wagers based on research and always donate some of your winnings to the collection plate.
That is not in there.
I don't think there's a book of Eli.
No.
But that was a good movie.
That is not in there.
Yeah. So peace be with you against the Spread.
Gambling is about heart posture. I'll say that. If you're gambling for unhealthy reasons to try, you could win big here, you're desperate, don't do that. But if you're gambling because, hey, you know what? I feel like I have an advantage here over the market. I feel like this is a great, logical, mathematical decision. Then I would do that.
Oh my God. Oh, I'm sorry. Randy, it's been 5 months. The Reaper says, hi, guys. Hope all's well with you guys.
Hey, Reaper, what are you doing?
It's been five months. And then 5 months ago, he said, hi, guys. Just want to say hi. It's been a while.
Where you been, Reaper? It's good to hear from you.
Nice to meet you, Reaper.
Don't fear the Reaper, Harris.
Never met this guy.
Well, it's okay. He's not scary. Don't fear the Reaper.
Oh, I just said hi. I don't fear him.
Don't fear the Reaper. Rocky Top says Don Hicks Jr. is right. There needs to be some federal oversight of the NIL.
There probably, you know what? There probably will be.
There should not be. It should be figured out before the government gets its filthy hands on it.
Well, in a perfect world, I agree with you, Jeffrey, but that is proven to be, the NCAA is proven to be completely incapable. And so,
Randy, hit me with the movie voice.
In a perfect world. In a perfect world.
Let's see. Fish Tank says, Jeffrey, Randy, since you've been at this whole radio thing a long time.
Yeah.
You know what? F you, Fish Tank.
Yes.
When you see that Pete Rose has been when you see that Pete Rose has been in the news again, and you know your day is about to be full of this conversation again, don't you want to just call out and maybe drink a 6-pack?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Reaper says he's been busy dealing with medical issues and stuff.
Oh, well, Reaper, I hate to hear that, man. Prayers up for you.
Yeah.
Hang in there, Reaper. It would be ironic, though, if you know. I'm sorry, Reaper. I'm sorry you chose that name. Wow. It would be ironic, you know.
I mean, sometimes I just can't believe it.
Dark Thoughts with Jeffrey O'Brien.
Yeah, I'm not the only one that thought it.
Wow.
But
I think you were in this case.
I think you were. Yeah. I didn't think of it. It's just you.
But it would be ironic. Reaper, if he named himself Reaper, appreciates that, I think. Hang in there, Reaper. We need the ratings. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin. And over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with a Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
If you're driving a car or truck with an expired warranty and suddenly lost your transmission or needed a full engine repair, would a $4,000 repair bill leave you stranded? I'm Danica Patrick. Don't get caught off guard with a vehicle breakdown. Choose the company I trust, Endurance. No matter the mileage, if your vehicle is less than 20 years old, Endurance offers auto protection plans for any budget. Protection on the drivetrain, electrical, transmission, AC, and more. Plus 24/7 roadside assistance and rental car reimbursement on any plan. Endurance handles everything from making the claim to paying the certified mechanic of your choice. Act now and get 1 full year of elite benefits, a $2,000 value, free.
Call for your fast free quote today. Call 800-289-6215. That's 800-289-6215. 800-289-6215.
Cars aren't the only vehicle on our roads. Arizona drivers, don't forget to look out for motorcycles. That means checking your blind spots. Motorcycles are hard to see, day or night. They move and stop quickly, too. So keep your distance whenever you see them. And stay focused on the road, not your phone. Make sure you're protecting everyone on our streets. Stay on the lookout for motorcycles. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
1580 The Fanatic.
It's Dave Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. So I just taking a look here and I just saw this. You know how Derek Carr retired from the Saints so that he could focus more on his eye care line? Well, I guess they signed a quarterback for the Saints. So, well, their season is saved. They just signed quarterback Hunter Deckers.
From Iowa State?
Who?
Yeah, Hunter Deckers with 2 Ks, no C.
Speaking of gambling.
Yeah. So yeah, he did set a record, but let's remember it's just Iowa. So
yeah.
Is it Iowa or Iowa State?
Iowa State.
Iowa Western. You're both wrong.
Hunter Deckers, well, he went to Iowa State and then he ended up getting kicked off the team for actually, funny enough that we're bringing this up, betting on his own games. And then he went to Iowa. Yeah, Western set up records. So
wow. All right. So anyways, the Saints are saved. So they'll win the Super Bowl this year.
Thank God that's happening. Yeah.
Sure. Let's talk some current baseball. The Diamondbacks beat the San Francisco Giants last night, and that was nice.
How about that, huh?
That was a nice win.
Yeah.
How about Corbin Carroll? 2 home runs off of Verlander.
Yeah, I don't want to hear any more. Corbin Carroll is a bum.
He's having the best year of his career.
I mean,
he's not hitting the ball. He's choking. He's not 2 hits, both of them solo home runs.
Right now, he's got 13 home runs, which I think is more than Ohtani has.
3rd in the league.
And then you got a 282 batting average with 30 RBIs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he scored 2 runs, 2 RBI, which were him because he hit a home run. And not only that, he got on base a 3rd time with a base on ball. So Ketel Marte wore the sombrero last night. Pavin Smith wore the sombrero last night. Josh Naylor had 1 hit. Gabriel Marino finally caught fire. He was 2 for 4 last night. Lourdes Gurriel Jr., what a game he had. He made an incredible catch in left field. Just this kind of awkward, off-balance catch that he made. And then it came up and was hitting the ball. So he was 2 for 4 last night. The bottom of the Diamondbacks lineup really did the job for him. Geraldo Perdomo, Alec Thomas. You talk about a low-scoring game, a good game. Merrill Kelly went 7 strong innings, gave up 8 hits and one earned run. He had 8 strikeouts. They only used 2 relievers last night. One of them was Jalen Beeks. The other one, Shelby Miller. Shelby came in, instantly gave a long fly ball. I thought for sure, damn it, there it is, a home run. They just tied the game up, but it wasn't. It was a routine fly ball to right field, and he shut down the team for the rest of the inning. So they go again tonight.
Fat Brandon. Brandon's pitching.
And Fat Brandon, he's been the guy that's been the most consistent out of all the starters. Yeah, go ahead, Harris.
He's against Robbie Ray, by the way.
Triple H, go jump in. Robbie Ray is washed up. He won a Cy Young, and it wasn't
washed
for us.
up with a 2.84 ERA.
Yeah, get him out of here.
Robbie Ray, Tennessee native, by the way. Fun fact. But anyway.
Okay.
Oh, no. That's
2-minute penalty.
Are you kidding?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
2-minute penalty for Harris for saying fun fact. All right. So anyway, so is this something good about the Diamondbacks, or is this something?
Well, I mean, this is the kind of
wrong with the Giants.
This is kind of the battle you want to see against tough teams. Like I said, going into last night, the Giants were a team to take seriously. The Diamondbacks went in there and played a grinded out kind of baseball game where it was a lack of hitting by both teams. They had great pitching from Merrill Kelly. And so we'll see tonight if they can duplicate that, maybe get some more runs. Yeah, I know Robbie Ray, he's got a sub-3 ERA. He's found his stuff again. All kidding aside, the Diamondbacks are going to have another tough night tonight. Let's see if the top of the lineup can get going. Ketel Marte has got to get back in the groove. He's been out with an injury, and then they give him some nights off. So Torey Lovello, astute managing there. And the rest of the guys need to start hitting the ball at the top of the lineup, or there should be a whole lot of shaking going on, moving guys around that are willing to hit the ball better.
Let's go to the text line. George says, I've never said anything of the sort, Randy, about Corbin Carroll. He's my favorite Diamondbacks player right now. Corbin for MVP.
I didn't say you said it, George.
By the way, can I just say, I was thinking the same thing earlier. And listen, I don't want to be a silly homer. I don't want to be wrong, but I'm like, if Ohtani is always in the conversation for MVP, right now, looking at what Corbin Carroll's doing, is there a case there?
It might be. Yeah, sure. Depends on what happens. We'll see as the season goes along.
Who do you think right now is looking good?
Well, I think MVP. I think Corbin Carroll's right there. But the National League MVP, it's right now. I would say Corbin Carroll, and I would say Shohei Ohtani. He's hitting the cover off the ball. We'll see what happens as time goes on. I mean, my guy I picked last year that in the American League, I think he finished second, and that was the what's his name from Kansas City. I can't think of his name now, but anyway. Also, the guy to be watching in the American League is the Judge. I hate to say it, but he has just been he has been on a tear since the beginning of the season.
By the way, you were thinking of Bobby Witt, Randy.
Bobby Witt Jr.
Yeah, Bobby Witt Jr. Bobby Witt Jr.
This one says Bobby Witt,
Randy. Bobby Witt Jr. He should have won it last year, but
no, this guy's he's so much better. I only played Little League ball. I used to like to get snow cones.
Harris, you need to understand, he doesn't hate Ohtani. He just can't stand the writers.
Oh my goodness. I'll tell you what, I was for a Dodgers game against the Padres when I was working as a camera guy. I saw when the Dodgers played Japanese media, and it was one of the most mind-boggling things I've ever seen. I've never seen media people be so aggressive, fight for a spot. I've never seen so many cameras in one spot.
Yeah.
I had to ask people, because I was doing the broadcast camera. I had to ask people to move out of the way like 20 times. Like, Oh my goodness! Like
we're not talking about the TV reporters, the writers, the baseball writers.
Well, I'm
just
talking about the whole fanfare around Ohtani internationally. I'm adding to it. It's just insane.
The BBWA, the Baseball Writers of America.
Yeah,
they sound like this.
Oh, gee, look at that. I got his baseball card. I got that gum in there. I saved it. It's been an unopened pack. I could just tell by the number on the card package. I could tell this has got a rookie Ohtani card in it. Oh, it's so much fun.
That's crazy, Randy. He sounded just like him.
Slow Mozo says that ground rule double was bogus. Just the Tip says Corbin's third multiple home run game this year, if I'm correct.
Yeah. So I got some thoughts on Corbin Carroll I was going to share earlier. He's been hitting the ball like he should be in the MVP conversation. Now, I believe it should be Ohtani just in terms of looking at the numbers and everything.
Why?
But Corbin, well, he's getting on base 41% of the time. He's slugging 64% of the time. I mean, Corbin's had a great season, but those are both
Corbin has
higher
home
than
runs.
Corbin. Yeah, he does. But I mean, if you look at the total in terms of on base and how many total bases, Ohtani is winning that. So
you know, Jeffrey, with the baseball writers, they have so many numbers to look at, and if they don't have enough to make their guy the MVP, they make up some more numbers.
Oh, is that how it works?
Like WAR is
war's
really a made-up metric.
Right.
Oh,
so they can just say anything they want because there's no really math solution for WAR.
I learn something every day here.
They call it wins against replacements. Now, does that sound like common sense to you?
It's a cumulative stat, so it factors like
now it's a
lot of
stat.
different things. It's like QBR. Yeah.
PBR? That's a horrible beer.
QBR.
Rocky Top says, I love Robbie Ray, the pride of Brentwood, Tennessee. Grew up just a little north of me in Franklin. Okay, Harris, Rocky Top, I'm going to take a second here. We don't care. Stop telling us about everything that's from Tennessee. We don't care. It's not necessary.
I just thought it was interesting.
Lost Toby says, me as a Giants fan, and what's this? Oh, I've had enough of this dude. Gotcha. He just put up a meme from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Doesn't really translate that great, Lost Toby, to radio. Average Joe says Bobby Witt plays in the American League. Judge won MVP last year, as he should have.
Yeah. I mean, well, can I give my thoughts here on Corbin Carroll?
Walter Mellon says you don't get on base when you're hitting more home runs. See, here's the thing, Harris. Don't ask. Just talk.
Which is what I said yesterday.
Don't say, hey, can I tell you something? No, just tell me something.
Corbin
you're wasting
Carroll,
time.
Corbin Carroll should be the number 2 or 3 guy in the lineup, not number 1. And now, if you want to lead off, and you're going to get a lot of solo home runs, aren't you? And you're going to start really being in a clean part of the inning where there's no base runners. If you're a leadoff batter, you'll get a lot more attempts at the plate because you're going to be at the top of the lineup. And generally, in average baseball games, the top 5 hitters in the lineup see more at-bats than do the rest of the lineup. But you have Corbin Carroll at the top of the lineup. Okay, he's going to get on for you, and he's going to swipe some bags, and he's going to be a menace on the base paths, but he's also going to hit damn home runs. So why wouldn't you put somebody ahead of him? Geraldo Perdomo, maybe? I don't know. Somebody that can get on base. Maybe bat Corbin Carroll second. Because he doesn't always hit home runs, but he is showing a pretty good push of power right now. Bat him in the 3 spot. I don't know. They make it so damn hard anymore.
Yeah, but Alec Thomas in there, heck, he's had a great year. You could even
put Alec Thomas in there. I don't know.
Average Joe says Harris is from Franklin, Tennessee. How does he not know Rocky Top? Well, I think that. Because Rocky Top knows Harris. I don't think Harris knows him. One day he'll know who it is.
Yeah,
I don't know why. We're just going to stop. I'm going to stop reading his texts until he gives us more information.
Reveals himself. Yeah.
Like shows me his license or something.
Right.
Yeah, maybe he could like text you his first and last name individually, and then you could tell me what his first and last name is, and I'll tell you. I'll tell you if I know who he is or not. Maybe you could do that.
Sharp Cat says, "Hey, who's this guy with the porn stash on the YouTube?"
That's Randy.
No, that's Harris, actually.
Wow, Triple H, really?
I'm sorry.
Lost Toby thinks that Rocky Top is Harris's burner phone.
It's not. Trust me, I don't have that type of time.
Or money. He can't afford a burner phone.
No.
What are you talking about?
I can't afford it. I don't have one. I don't have that type of time to make a whole burner account. No.
All right. Well, so tonight at 6:45 p.m., the Diamondbacks try to do it again against the San Francisco Giants. And again, the only thing we can hope is that they find some consistency. You know, if things go the way they've been, because they have been winning in a dotted line all the way back to when they played the Phillies.
Yep.
You know, here's a loss, here's a win. Then the Mets, here's a loss, here's a win, here's a loss, here's a win, here's a loss, here's a win, here's a loss. Now here's a win with the San Francisco Giants. And we went through the Mets and the Dodgers winning every other game.
Yep.
I mean, that is just, come on, guys.
Yep.
I don't know what's happening that's different on the good days or the bad days, but consistency would be nice. You know, let's win a series here.
That's baseball, though, Jeffrey.
Well, they did win the series against the Mets in New York. They won that series.
That's baseball.
That was a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was because the last time they played the Mets, they didn't. They lost to the Mets, and then they only won one game. So then when they split it with the Dodgers, they lost to the Mets.
Yeah.
They lost to Philadelphia. Then before that, they won a series against the Mets. But hey, let's talk about now. And now is the last couple of series. We haven't been winning, man.
Yeah. Well, you're right. You're right. It's been tough.
And
the
that's what
Diamondbacks
happens.
have not been consistent. Their pitching hasn't been consistent.
Yeah.
So fortunately, after the Giants, we welcome in the Rockies.
Random Texter says winning every other game in a 3-game series is pretty damn good. Yes, but we've been doing it on the wrong side of that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We've been losing series. Bruno Baller says, you'd think the Diamondbacks can play 500 baseball against the Giants, Dodgers, and Padres and beat up on the Rockies. That might be enough to keep them in contention. Not necessarily for the division, but for, wild card berth.
True.
Quiet Cannon says Corbin Carroll's leading off so he can get more at-bats. 7, 8, and 9 hitters in the lineup are good hitters. Yeah.
We'll
see what happens tonight.
I see it. Makes sense.
All right, we got to take a break. We'll come back. We'll do some more. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZzzQuil.
ZzzQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZzzQuil nights. Explore our products at ZzzQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Leverage your skills and continue pursuing your passions in retirement. By joining AmeriCorps, you can become one of our most valuable partners in Arizona. You'll have the chance to use your experience to support the next generation and contribute to causes that matter most to you. Make giving back your second act. Explore volunteer opportunities and benefits at serve.az.gov. This message is sponsored by the Governor's Office of Youth, Faith, and Family.
Your home has gone way up in value, but have you taken advantage of it? This is Rob Canier with a phenomenal opportunity to tap into some of your home equity, earning tax-free income and eliminating your mortgage payment while staying in your home as long as you want. With home prices leveling off, don't wait to learn more about the new reverse mortgage. This is a safe and proven money-saving and tax-free income opportunity for homeowners age 62 and older. Call me, Reverse Rob, and learn more today at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
Life is full of bright moments, but sometimes those moments can seem too far away. Trained and caring crisis specialists in Arizona can assist you with any situation, big or small. Free and confidential help is only one text away, day or night. Text the word HOPE to 4HOPE. That's HOPE to 44673. These moments matter, and so do you. This message is sponsored by Solari Crisis and Human Services.
If you're age 62 or older and own a home, this message is for you. Reverse Rob here, Money Radio's expert on reverse mortgages. Learn how to tap the equity in your home and increase the quality of your life by earning tax-free income while protecting your other retirement assets. Join us for our free Second Saturdays webinar every month to learn more. This is not too good to be true. All you need to do is reverse your thinking. Call me me today, Reverse Rob, to learn more at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773. Or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
When the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
The scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
I'll face a hurricane without meds. Now that's a tough pill to swallow.
let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time. Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it.
Hey, Jeffrey, I think that gnat that was bothering me is finally gone.
What?
That gnat that kept flying around in here?
Oh, I thought you were just having a little seizure or something.
Well, I think the gnats finally bought the farm.
Yeah? How'd you kill it?
I don't know how I did it.
You might want to check your drink. Make sure it didn't fly into your drink.
Maybe.
Good call. Good call.
Thank you.
Hey, everybody. It's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Are you drinking a gnat right now?
No, I checked it. I've got a blue Powerade Zero.
Yeah.
And so the gnat would show up in there.
Oh, yeah. It probably is.
Sometimes people say nat as in like a natty light. I was like, he's drinking a nat. Like, what is he talking about? Like, man, Randy's getting started early.
The gnat was flying around the room.
Well, you said,
light doesn't fly around the room.
Well, you said, are you drinking a gnat?
Grow up, Harris. That's not how natty lights work.
Well, I assumed that it meant, are you drinking a gnat? Typically
hey,
means.
Number one, I would not have this spectacular figure that I have if I drank a natty light.
He looks like a great god. I can confirm.
Number B, I wouldn't drink a natty light if it was the last beer in the cooler.
Ugh. I mean, but you do drink a Coors Light, so
I like Coors Light. I like Modelo.
You and my dad both.
I like Modelo. Yeah.
My dad loves
an icy cold Modelo. An icy cold Modelo Negro.
See, I like a Modelo Negro, but I'm afraid to order it.
Why? Afraid to say Negro, are you? Let's talk, Jeffco.
I just don't want to ever be misheard at all.
It means black in Spanish.
No, I get that. And
Negro. You got to roll your R. Negro.
I just don't feel comfortable with that. Just, because look at me. It's a
look, man. I
order.
When I order I say it right. I say Modelo Negro.
Yeah, you
Jeffrey,
can put the little R roll on the R. I think helps.
No, I feel that exact same.
I eat Ruffles with ridges.
Yeah, Berg says, "Put Triple H back in timeout." I know we're close.
I feel that exact same uncomfortability, Jeffrey, when I order a Shirley Temple.
What?
Yep.
Well, that's just because of your softball team. Zay,
there were a lot of Shirley Temples on that softball team.
Zay says
there were.
Zay says, "I'm pretty sure it's Modelo Negra."
Is it Negra or Negro?
See, that's what I'm saying. We don't know what we're doing. That's very dangerous. We should not.
No, I don't think so.
It just means black in Spanish.
No, I get that, Harris. You can't look like me and
let's see.
You know what I'm saying?
There's a special.
Give me a Guinness.
Oh, it is Negra. Sorry, it is. Yes, you're right.
I'd like Modelo Negra because it's more along the lines of the kind of beer I like. So
Negra.
I just get somebody else. I like my wife. Be like, he's like, oh yeah, and then she says it in Spanish, and it's okay.
Negra Modelo, por favor.
Sí, muy bien.
I'll just change that. I'll remember it's Negra. Thank
Fish
you for
Tank
the
says,
correction there. Thank you.
I'm with Randy. Even you snobby beer guys should know how far above Natty Light a Coors Light is. In fact, hit me with a silver bullet, boys.
On my way right now.
Can I just say that I can't believe that LL Cool J would participate in the vehicular homicide that occurred when the silver bullet train blasted through that farmer's market and went into that bar.
Well, first of all, I don't like the senseless destruction of a farmer's market.
How about the other time when it went through that hot dog stand, completely destroying the hot dog stand and taking away that man's living
livelihood? Yeah.
That ain't right.
That's another count.
Yeah, that's against the Coors Light.
No.
Does anybody just drink regular Coors?
Clearly, it's not against Coors Light. Clearly.
But there's Coors Banquet.
You're going to blame LL Cool J's irresponsible train driving?
Yes, exactly.
I feel like Coors Light has, first off, he's employed by Coors Light, so they have bared some legal responsibility there. Second, I'm sure LL Cool J probably enjoyed a few. So somewhere along the line, Dram Shop or otherwise, something, the Coors people got to bear some responsibility.
I don't think they have to. I think the Coors people should start a lawsuit against LL Cool J for mishandling and abuse of their railroad.
Wow. Dang.
I'm sorry. Coors Light does. George will back me up on this.
You thought about it for a second, though, Jeffrey. You did think about it for a second.
Fish Tank says, Jeffrey, maybe just say, can I get the dark Modelo? And then they'll say the right word back to you, and then you just nod discreetly. Well, that's probably a good idea.
What is sophisticated about that, though?
Huh?
Sophisticated.
What's sophisticated about it?
You know what's sophisticated about not getting beat up and thrown, lifeless in the back alley?
Modelo, please.
Zay says the only place Natty Light flies around Harris, it's the trailer park. That's where they fly around.
It's a very
them
popular,
to each other and at each other.
It's a very popular drink. Where it's from. Where
Diamondback dude says, pretty sure we're not allowed to talk about these things.
What?
Well, when Keon was here, we could.
Beer?
Yeah. No. Modelo.
Yeah.
Donnie says, I wonder if Harris will give my team the respect they deserve now. Up 3-1. Curry wasn't going to save that sorry-ass roster and beat these Wolves. Well, here, before Harris speaks, I'm going to say this. We'll never know now, will we? Because he was out.
You
so
stole my
this
point.
is what it is. But yeah, it was going to be hard with Curry. I'll give you that respect. It was going to be hard with Curry, but I'd say it was still possible. Now it just looks like they're crumbling like crackers right under your feet. So enjoy the next round, Donnie. But I'll let Harris speak to the inevitable destruction of the Warriors.
Jeffrey, that was my point. We'll never know. I mean, well, they have also won these last two games by single digits. And I get it. The fourth game, it was more of a blowout than what the scoreboard says. But it's not like Golden State has been getting severely blown out since Steph has gotten hurt. Anthony Edwards has had to make some crazy shots.
They're not coming back 3 games.
Yeah, I know Golden State's not coming back 3 games. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I have a healthy amount of respect for the Timberwolves. But I'm not going to give them the respect that you're asking for me to give because they didn't beat Golden State with a healthy Steph Curry. Missing Steph Curry is a huge difference. So.
And one game, like Harris said, pretty damn close.
The one game that Steph Curry played, what happened?
So here's the thing. If the Timberwolves lose the next game to the Warriors, you should feel humiliated. You should just understand, oh my gosh, this is a team that maybe is not going to do well going forward.
But I like Minnesota, though. I like the Timberwolves. They're a good bunch. They're a good team. The way that they've orchestrated that roster around Anthony Edwards, they've gone after such good role players like Gobert, Conley, McDaniels. It's a good team. I'm just not going to say that it is the best team in the NBA or the title favorite because they didn't beat Golden State with a healthy Steph Curry. They beat him hobbled.
Grand Mariner says, I never knew Minnesota sports fans were so insufferable. Are all Minnesota sports fans like Donnie? No, not at all.
Either.
Donnie is the most insufferable person I think I might know. I mean, we got some nice, Minnesota fans. Listen, everybody does have a blind spot when it comes to their own team. But no, Donnie makes it hard for us because then we start talking garbage about Minnesota because Donnie's annoying, and then we end up hurting other people. Makes us feel bad, but we'll never stop doing it.
Yeah.
Fish Tank said, Harris, you said you like the Timberwolves. Stick around the show a while. You'll learn to hate them.
So I've gathered that.
Lost Toby says, if Warriors win game 5, I say Warriors in 7. You're just trying to, okay, so you know what Lost Toby just did there? That was called a hedge text. That's a hedge text because if by chance it is just the impossible happens, he wants to pull up this text and say, told you so.
What do you think Donnie would do if that happened? if Golden State came back and won. I
don't know.
I'll be honest. I'd love to see that.
It'd be amazing for as insufferable as he is about all this. Donnie says, if they make it to the finals, that's another month of me being insufferable. Good luck, everyone. Well, I'm trying to take a look here. Let me just take a look here. Probability, factor, Harris, probability factor. Let's say Timberwolves do beat the Warriors and move on. They got either the Nuggets or the Thunder.
The Nuggets or the Thunder?
Mm-hmm.
I would say they've got about they have a 35% chance to beat the Thunder, and they would have a 45% chance to beat the Nuggets.
So you favor the Thunder and the Nuggets over the Timberwolves?
I would, yes. I would.
All right, let's say by chance they end up in the finals. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's say they make it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm taking a look here. It looks like Indiana Pacers will end up playing. And right now,
or the Knicks.
It's kind of looking like the Knicks. I'm thinking the Pacers beat the Knicks.
I think that's such a close one. I lean New York because of the home court.
Let's just say we don't know. Let's just say it's the Pacers or the Knicks. How do you feel about the chances of the Timberwolves versus the Knicks versus the Pacers? Automatic win?
I'd give Minnesota an over 50% chance.
Right. They'd beat either one of the
They would beat
teams
they'd probably beat either one of them.
So if what it looks like is if Timberwolves get to the finals, they will win the finals.
Yeah. I think that's off the dome. That's what I'm going to say. Yeah.
All right. So if they get to the Western Conference Finals, then Lord help us all is right, Grand Mariner.
Yeah.
He says, I'll be favoring the Nuggets and the Thunder all over the Timberwolves just to save everybody from the insufferable Timberwolves fans. No, man. It's just fans. It's just fan.
Yeah. Take out the S.
Hefty Lefty says, well, Wolves have played the Nuggets pretty well this year. Thunder, though, that's a different story.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the Wolves did beat the Nuggets last year in the playoffs, too. My gut intuition is, what are they going to do with Jokic? And Denver just seems to be clicking right now. They're supporting cast. And when Jokic gets going, and if that supporting cast keeps looking the way it's looked, Denver's going to be super tough to beat. Oklahoma City's just been so good this year. They're so deep. Their starting five is so good. They have probably a top 5 player in the NBA, which I don't know if Minnesota can say that, by the way. That might be a hot take, but I don't know if they can say that. So Oklahoma City has the star power and the depth over Minnesota, and Denver they have the star power, but I think that might be enough just to barely put them over the edge.
Lost Toby says, nah, not really. They ain't losing with Curry back. Remember, it's a nagging hamstring injury loss, Toby. Curry could be back, but he might not be back at 100%.
Yeah.
Fish Tank says, you said it, Jeffrey. If the Wolves get in the finals, they'll win for sure. It's a lock. Yeah. See, what Harris doesn't understand is every time I've ever said, it's a lock, just like that, the opposite happens. Moist one says,
okay.
Whoa. Let's wait and see how Peyton Pritchard looks as a starter before we say the Wolves would win in the finals.
Yeah, Boston technically isn't out yet. Just, losing Tatum.
Boston's out.
Hit. Yeah, technically I said.
Boston's out.
Yeah. Losing Tatum is they could still come back. It's just unlikely. Boston's got the depth, though, to replace them.
Boston and the Timberwolves, neither team is going to win 3 in a row.
Unlikely. Yeah.
It's just not happening. And guess
Golden
what?
State,
neither are the Pacers.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Neither the Cavaliers. Sorry.
Yep.
Let's see here. Moisten threw it in too. It's a lock. Hamilton Porter says, so here's an interesting debate I saw online. I don't know if I want to do this right now. Hamilton
okay.
Porter.
No, if you just stop the text, like that's all he said. Let's hear it.
I guess I'll read it.
Okay.
Bigger draft bust, Jamarcus Russell or Ryan Leaf?
Oh,
yes.
Jamarcus Russell, because he went 1 overall. That would be
Jamarcus. What year was that?
2007, I believe. Was it 08 or 07?
Where did Jamarcus Russell play?
LSU.
No, when he got drafted.
Oh, the Raiders.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
the
Jamarcus
Raiders.
Russell, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's him. He was 07 because Stafford went I think 08 or Matt Ryan was 08. I'm trying to remember off the dome here. But Jamarcus had such high hopes after the amazing career he had at LSU. There was also the tape story, which was not great. When the coaches sent him with the tape just to say, hey, go watch film. And he went back to the coaches, and the coach was like, hey, did you watch film? What'd you see? And he was saying like, oh yeah, I saw this coverage and this. And the coach is like, actually, that was an empty tape. We didn't put anything in there.
Ooh.
So, and Ryan Leaf had his obviously mental struggles. It's nice to see where Ryan Leaf is now, by the way. Seems incredibly sober. Cool story. Great story. But yeah, I would say Jamarcus just because he had higher expectations than Ryan Leaf did going as the number 1 overall guy. But there is some arguments on both sides.
Just a Tip says, wouldn't Minnesota play a better game if Steph was playing? I mean, just because Curry is playing doesn't guarantee a win.
No, it's just the fact that Golden State, since Steph has gotten hurt, has not scored any points. They just haven't been able to score. Like they dropped 110 last night, but before that, they dropped 97 and 93. So their offense has just taken a massive hit. Even dropping 99 game 1, that's because Steph Curry only played like 13 minutes in that game. So Golden State's offense like clearly suffers, and their defense suffers a little bit without Steph too.
T-Licious says Wolves ended the Nuggets season last year, FYI.
They did.
Boss Toby says Westbrook will win a ring before the Timberwolves this year. Curry won't be at 100%, but I bet him being on the court opens up the floor for the rest of the team.
Opens up the floor tremendously for the rest of the
Average
team.
Joe says AD has influenced most of the top stars traded for a number 1 pick in history. CP3 gets traded to the Clippers. New Orleans gets number 1 to draft AD. AD gets traded to LA. New Orleans gets number 1 pick. AD traded to Dallas. Again, they get the number 1 pick. Kind of interesting.
And a lot of those involved LeBron or the Lakers. Like a lot of those. So remember, Chris Paul was going to go to the Lakers before all that was blocked out. So there's the whole Anthony Davis thing too. There was obviously Kyrie. There's been conspiracies about Andrew Wiggins. Remember, he was number 1 in the lottery. Anthony Bennett as well. There's been a lot of interesting conspiracies over that LeBron to the Cavs stuff. And after that Mavs thing, 1.8% chance. Are we serious?
Yeah. I mean, and then LeBron's giggling like, this is all rigged.
Yeah.
Okay. Nobody's surprised. Let's just go on with our lives now, I guess. Yeah. Hefty Lefty says Russell, 2007, Bradford, 2008, Stafford, 2009.
Ah, that's right. Okay. Yeah. Because Bradford had that national championship run at Oklahoma. Okay. I got it now.
Grand Mariner says, I don't understand. What is the history of It's a Lock? I don't remember, Randy. Do you? It was something we were talking about. I think it was something we were talking about that I actually was like, yeah, it's a lock. Yeah. Like I was like, yeah. And then, of course, it was not a lock. Yeah. And then we decided it's a jinx every time I say it.
Yeah, I don't remember the details behind the whole thing. But I think it innocently happened, and the fourth dimension blew it as they often do. Blew it out of.
That's what they do. That's
proportion.
I've accepted it as a jinx. You'll never hear me say it about something I care about, but I'll say it like, "Hey, the Tennessee Titans are going to have a great year." It's a lock.
Yeah.
Hamilton Porter says, "If I learned anything, it's if you trade your best player to the Lakers, you're guaranteed a number 1 overall pick that year."
What a coincidence! Not.
I feel like that we've learned that. Yeah. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we got other fish to fry and, in sports to talk about. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
During National Military Appreciation Month, we at University of Maryland Global Campus say thank you to the service members, veterans, and families who dedicate their lives to our country. We are deeply grateful. For over 75 years, UMGC has proudly served the military community, from installations overseas to the communities you call home. Wherever you serve, we stand with you. Learn more at umgc.edu/thanks. Certified to operate in Virginia by Shep.
Stay ahead of the curve with your commute. ADOT's I-10 Broadway Curve Improvement Project is making great progress. That means better travel times, safer commutes, plus easier access to work, schools, retail, and Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport. Want to stay informed about upcoming closures and construction traffic? Good news, you can get real-time updates on the app, available at i10broadwaycurve.com. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Department of Transportation.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. Call 800-549-8866. That's 800-549-8866.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Forgot something inside or picking up food from the store? Never leave a child in a car. In Arizona, heat stroke can happen in seconds. Temperatures can rise 20 degrees in just 10 minutes, making a vehicle dangerously hot. Heat stroke can happen even in the shade or when it's below 60 degrees outside. Once you park, always remember to stop, look, and lock. Visit heatstroke.az.gov to learn more. This message is sponsored by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
2025 NASCAR Championship Weekend.
October 31st through November 2nd. Experience the thrill of NASCAR racing at Phoenix Raceway. October 31st, it's the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series Championship. November 1st, it's the NASCAR Xfinity Series Championship. And it all culminates with the NASCAR Cup Series Championship on Sunday, November 2nd. This event will sell out.
Go to PhoenixRaceway.com for more.
Don't miss the NASCAR Championship weekend at Phoenix Raceway.
Get your tickets now. We know how you feel. There's nothing better than a fall afternoon, an order of wings and a nice cold brew, and football. This fall, the Fanatic is your source for high school, college, and NFL football action. The high school game of the week on Friday nights, top line NCAA action on Saturdays, and the NFL primetime games. When it comes to football, we have you covered. We're 1580 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. And hey, Randy.
Yes?
We haven't had man talk in a while, have we?
No, we have not.
Harris doesn't even know anything about this.
I don't think he does. No.
The reason we haven't had man talk in a while is because, I don't know, I felt like maybe it'd been a little unfair to Harris. But,
yeah.
So, Harris, you need to understand something. I am the Southwest Regional Man Card Commissioner. I studied at the Institute of Sheer Dam Manliness, and I graduated top of my class, got my diploma from Chuck Norris himself after I wrestled a grizzly bear. And so now I am actually the perfect person to dole out man card violations and accreditations and stuff like that. And we generally, almost every day we used to talk about man talk. We just have a little man talk.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. I didn't get into there. I tried.
Yeah. And then we get kind of busy and we talk about stuff. But I also I wrote with some assistance from Randy. I wrote the Manstitution of the United States of America.
I just wrote the foreword. That's all I did.
Okay.
If you go into my office and you look on my desk, you'll see it's like a little blue pamphlet, the Manstitution. You should grab a copy of that and learn it. I'm not this moment, Harris, but I mean, just saying, before you leave today, just go ahead and grab yourself one.
I'll grab it. I'll frame it.
So,
you should probably read it before you frame it.
It's not a document. It's like a pocket constitution,
Yeah.
I'm sure you've seen many of those in Tennessee.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, so now let's just do a little man talk real fast.
Okay.
We're not going to spend the entire show doing this, but this is pretty cool. Man of the day, man card accreditation goes to a 31-year-old former Royal Marine that's from England.
Yeah.
He just completed the longest triathlon ever.
Oh, no kidding.
More than 8,000 miles over the course of 8 months.
Oh, you are kidding me.
8,000 miles.
Mitch Hutchcraft started last September by swimming the English Channel. Then he rode a bike for 7,500 miles from Europe to India. Then he walked or ran over 500 miles to Nepal and finished up on Sunday by climbing Mount Everest.
Oh my God!
Wow,
that is crap.
That is manly.
That is
there.
a man.
Dude.
Wow.
And he did it to raise money for a group called SAVSIM. It's a charity in England that protects wildlife and also works with veterans. So all the way around, 8,000-mile triathlon, 8 months later, and he finishes it up.
Damn.
Wow. That's remarkable.
It is.
You know,
he's going to need a job, I think.
Well, yeah.
He is going to need a job.
Like, can you imagine? People die climbing Mount Everest.
People
He did it. Yeah.
If I'd have just rode a bike 7,500 miles and I'd swum the English Channel and I walked or ran over 500 miles to Nepal, I don't know if I'd be up to it.
Right?
Nah, I don't know either, Jeffrey.
That's a lot. That just seems like an awful lot.
Yeah,
So.
what's going to happen to the show if that were to happen? I mean,
Oh, Harris, I'm never doing this. And let's not lie to yourself. You're not either.
you say that.
Nobody here
Anything
is
is
going to do
possible.
8,000. It's not possible.
Anything's possible.
but hell no.
You're not doing it.
I don't know. Don't underestimate me.
You would drown within minutes of jumping into the English
I'm
Channel.
a pretty good swimmer, if I may say so myself.
You
like
are
Michael
just saying
Phelps
you're so yourself. Nobody's going to agree that
like
it's a good
Michael
idea
Phelps
that
in
you
there.
swim the English Channel to
I'm
start
gonna,
with.
I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm finally going to do it. I'm going to swim the English Channel.
You were never going to do it to begin with.
I think I'm finally going to do it.
All
Randy and
right,
I have been
well,
talking about this.
Just, you have the weekend. I'm not giving you any PTO for this.
Dang it.
So I do want to have a conversation.
Yes.
With the men of the audience, not you, Harris.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Although your age group, I think has a lot to do with this. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay. Here we go. It's probably going to be negative then.
So I don't know. I think I would imagine your age group would go the other way with this.
Okay.
So there's been this thing, and my wife brought my attention to it, and I guess men are doing this weird thing where they're shaving off their eyelashes.
What?
What's that you say? I guess the reason they're doing this is because they don't want to have long, luscious eyelashes because they think it looks feminine. So they want to look manly. So they have like a barber or somebody trim their eyelash, which is a hugely bad idea because eyelashes help reduce airflow over the eyes. It maintains moisture, keeps the eyes healthy, comfortable, filters out intense light, reduces glare, and you see better because of your eyelashes.
Yes.
Helps with the blink reflex. If you cut them off, it's they're not going to work as good as what I'm trying to tell you.
Is this legitimately happening?
The men are actually doing this, and because they don't want to look
all right, define men. Is this my age group or is it like just any age?
They're just saying men, and they say it might have something to do. Like for one, Mark Zuckerberg recently said, "Well, we need more masculine energy in the corporate world." And he told Joe Rogan, he's like, "Yeah, a culture that celebrates the aggression a bit more has its merits." So he's always like, "Yeah, we got to toughen up." And honestly, I don't think he's qualified to speak on that.
Who knows what
matter,
Zuckerberg?
but
yeah.
So I remember. See,
Who
here's the
knows
thing.
That guy.
I find long eyelashes are more of a sign of youthfulness. You know what I mean? Because I had girls coming up to me all the time saying, "Oh my God, your eyes are so pretty." I never felt less than manly. I felt like, "Oh, look, a chance."
So you're
hey,
saying
this is
there's
going
a
pretty
chance
well for me. And so
Heck yeah.
listen, guys, don't trim
Don't
your
do that. Yeah.
eyelashes. Let them be long and whatever.
There's a reason God created them. There's a purpose for
Well, I
them.
just gave you all the purposes.
Yes, you did. You did a great job. A fantastic job.
Your eyes need them for scientific reasons. And
Absolutely.
And I just don't understand. Why would you want to mess with something a gal likes? You know
Why
what I
would
mean?
you put that much time, like that much unnecessary hassle into your appearance too? I think my generation does this too much because we sit and think too much instead of do. Gen Z
Well,
does
there's
that.
social media people saying, "Okay, here's
Doing
how
this?
you do it." And there's these
Oh my
methods,
God.
but then
Dude.
surgeons, people with the eyeball people, they're saying improper removal of your eyelashes can lead to complications. Cutting or trimming eyelashes can cause irritation and discomfort, can leave sharp, stubbly rubs on your eyes. And says, I don't know if they grow back. I mean, I think they fall out and they'll grow back, but if you trim them,
it's not worth it.
Listen, you've got other problems. If you think that's the only thing that stops you from looking manly, something wrong with you.
Yeah.
King Kenton says, "I'm 56 years old and I have luxurious, beautiful long eyelashes." All the ladies over the years have complimented my handsome eyes. See, there you go.
See?
Hefty Lefty says, you want more masculine energy in the corporate world? Wear suits and ties to work again.
Yeah.
Huh, Zuck? Moist One says, if there's a reason God gave Josh Dobbs no eyelashes, I'd like to hear it, Harris.
Alopecia.
So God gave him alopecia.
No, I think
because
it's
God hates Josh Dobbs, Moist One.
No,
it's pretty simple to figure out
true.
here.
This is not true at all.
No, because
God
here's
did not
why.
give him
Josh Dobbs is
alopecia.
a scientist, and he's also, he worked for NASA.
Yeah.
And so God's like, no, I don't want you doing that. And so all his hair fell out.
I don't think that's what happened. I think you're missing the point here.
I think he has eyelashes, though, doesn't he?
He has eyelashes. He doesn't have eyebrows.
Oh, Moist One. Yeah.
Yeah.
God likes Josh Dobbs again.
I'm pretty sure. Look up a
Listen,
picture.
I liked the guy who fell asleep at the party and I drew a big penis on his forehead. I liked him too. God likes Josh Dobbs, but he took all his hair off his head and his face and his body. God giggled, and it was good.
Love Josh Dobbs.
You can't say that's not it. Where God's like, that was pretty funny.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so, Jeffrey. I think you missed the mark here.
Maybe you don't know.
No,
I'm not saying anything mean. I'm just saying
Josh Dobbs
had it coming.
Is a fantastic quarterback off of the great University of Tennessee. He's done wonderful things.
Is he fantastic?
He was fantastic.
Back then, right? Not since.
Yeah, I mean, well, he's the astronaut, Jeffrey.
Josh Dobbs can hold a clipboard like nobody's business these days.
He's darn good at it.
Someone's got to do it. Josh Dobbs has no eyelashes. Okay, so God's back to not liking Josh Dobbs.
Is he? I can't tell in the picture. I mean, I know he has
Maybe
no
they're
eyebrows.
just very light.
I don't know. I can't tell if he does in this picture or not. But
Hefty Lefty says you can't burn off your hair with rockets if you don't have any hair to lose. So then God likes Josh Dobbs again.
Yep.
Oh. Lost Toby says caring about how your eyelashes look is more feminine than having long, luscious eyelashes.
Exactly.
I agree.
I 1,000,000% agree with that.
Quiet Cannon says, I saw a Mini Cooper with eyelashes on the headlights. That proves that Mini Coopers are the girls' car.
This is true. They are the girls' car.
If they have the eyelashes on them. But I think that they're fun little go-karts. I think that we should all get a two-door Mini Cooper, a red one, a white one, and a blue one. And we should drive around like the guys in the Top Gear or the Grand Tour do. And get into trouble.
The Daily Blender can have an official car, right?
I don't know if it'd be the Mini Cooper, but we could have fun with it.
We could. We'd have a lot of
take
fun.
Him down the stairs like in the Italian Job.
I think. How do we go to Radio Ron with this?
We don't. He'll never give us money for this.
No.
It's never going to happen.
I don't know. We can convince him.
He'll get us some remote control Mini Coopers.
Yep. Remote control. That would
Hamilton
be pretty fun.
Porter says, how exactly does one shave off their eyelashes?
I don't
Now,
even know
that's
how
a good
that
question.
works.
Very carefully.
Some people go to a barber and have it done. That's just something I'd read.
Which is a waste of $20. Tremendous waste of $20.
Moisen says, have you seen the Italian Job? Well, there was two versions of it. And I think it was the one with Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch where he drove down some stairs.
Yep.
Miss Wilbur says 8,000 miles. Big deal. I did that blindfolded yesterday. Miss Wilbur, I don't understand the need for the blindfold.
Yeah, just never mind. Just never mind.
I don't know if I'd want Mr. Wilbur.
Jeffrey, just never mind.
I don't know if I want Mr.
Swave
Wilbur shaving
Dave
his
says,
eyebrows.
Anyone got pictures of a Mini Cooper or like a Big Cooper? Anybody got pictures of a Big Cooper? Well, that's a good point. If there's a Mini Cooper, that it implies there might be a full size Cooper somewhere.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Let's see.
He's actually Googling it. There's no.
Is there not?
No.
This is where my lack of car knowledge is coming back to bite me. No, there's not. Actually, technically, the Big Cooper car refers to the Mini Countryman, which is the largest, most spacious model in the Mini Cooper
stop,
lineup.
Harris. You clearly know the Mini Cooper
That's
is
what
the
Google said.
hardtop S. Yeah, Google is doing you dirty right now.
Oh.
And the Clubman is like a slightly bigger version that is like they say it's almost SUV like. It's not. It's just a little bit bigger version of the Mini. But the company, go back to the 60s maybe. Mini Cooper That's always been that. I don't think they had club bands back then. It was just Cooper S.
Okay.
Just the Tip says, how many of those dudes trying to look more masculine also have man buns? I'd say, probably a good number of them. Fishdeck says, we're going to have Harris looking for his blinker fluid in no time. Did you get the blinker fluid in your car when you came to Arizona?
Did I get the blinker fluid in my car?
You got to make sure that it's topped off. Because
you've got to change the blinker fluid.
The sun is going to dry that out if you haven't been keeping up with it.
Yeah, I'll keep up with that.
I
am planning on taking it to the dealership for
take it to the dealership and say, I need this blinker fluid looked at.
Yep.
Moist One says,
thank you.
He says, no. He says the Italian Job. I mean the one on Pornhub. No, Moist One. No. Whistling Gerbil says, those folks out in Tennessee don't know anything about cars or football. Roll damn Tide.
Who said that? What was this?
Whistling Gerbil.
Whistling Gerbil? Oh, stop it. He's a Bama fan. How about that game last year? Whistling Gerbil. Remember when we stormed the field?
Swave Dave says, maybe the car was named after the guy's wife. Kind of like Minnie Pearl, and they just spelled it differently.
Yeah.
So, Minnie Cooper.
Yeah,
I don't think that's it. I don't think that's it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so don't shave off your eyelashes.
Yeah, don't do it.
Leave that alone. That's just
that's
a health issue.
Especially Mr. Wilbur. Don't shave off your eyelashes.
Well, he can do whatever he wants. There's no damage being going to be done there.
Yeah.
I'd have somebody else do it though.
Yeah.
Okay, and men, there's something else you need to understand.
Let's hear it.
Go to the doctor. Go to the doctor. Don't wait to go to the doctor. Don't get nagged into going to the doctor. If you got to go to the doctor, go to the doctor. It's not manly to sit there and be in pain or have an ailment or something that you should just get done and fixed and taken care of. It's not a manly thing to not go to the doctor. It's worse and dumb if you let yourself get to a point where you have to go to the doctor and it's an emergency. So, but if you want to freak out your doctor, though, here's 6 words you can use in your next appointment. You can freak him out, or it'll really get his attention. Do you know what those 6 words are, Randy?
What? Let's hear it.
No.
I can't pay. No, I'm kidding. The 6 words are, and it's a red flag, specifically when a guy says this. The phrase is, my wife made me come in. It's a red flag because men are more likely to ignore health issues or tough it out instead of seeing a doctor. So when a doctor hears, well, my wife made me come in, they're like, okay, this is gonna be probably bad. Yeah. This is gonna be something that's been nagging and dragging on for this person for a while. So if you want to get a little extra attention, just say that. Well, my wife made me come in. The fact that makes doctors flinch tells you how bad we are as men at taking care of ourselves.
Yeah.
You can't take care of your family. You can't take care of your job. You can't take care of your car. You can't take care of your lawn if you don't take care of yourself. There's nothing unmanly about getting your ass into the doctor and getting stuff figured out. By the way, women have a phrase that freaks out doctors too.
What is it?
I didn't want to waste your time with this, but that's when the doctors are like, oh crap, here comes. Because, women, they don't want to, I don't want to trouble you.
Yeah.
Right.
Kyle G says, don't laugh at the blinker fluid, Harris. Otherwise, the lights get cloudy. The fluid keeps that plastic from getting sun damage. Oh my gosh. Here's something that annoys me. Looking for cars and stuff like CarMax or Carvana, they'll have that line that says, refurbished headlights, which means all they did was rub oranges or some crap on it so they look clear. And like in a week later, they're going to fog up again. So be careful when somebody says they refurbished the headlights. That crap's going to wear off in 6 months, if you're lucky. 6 months. T-Licious says, I'll finally have insurance for the first time since 2013, starting June 1st. So now I can go see what's wrong with me. Oh, yeah. You got to get in there while you got insurance and get it all taken care of.
Goodness, T-Licious. Congratulations on getting insurance. That's a huge milestone.
Hit it fast, hit it hard. Get it done, T-Licious. Good on you.
Yep.
All right, we got to take a break. What's that, Just the Tip? Just the Tip says his doctor is a stunningly hot woman. My first appointment with her, I pointed out her beauty, hoping and praying maybe something could happen. She said, yeah, my girlfriend thinks I'm pretty hot too. He says, this is now my best reason for going.
Wow.
Just a Tip's going to be the healthiest man on earth in these past years. He will be.
Just a tip.
He'll be in there every day.
Just a tip. It's not a chance. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
During National Military Appreciation Month, we at University of Maryland Global Campus say thank you to the service members, veterans, and families who dedicate their lives to our country. We are deeply grateful. For over 75 years, UMGC has proudly served the military community, from installations overseas to the communities you call home. Wherever you serve, we stand with you. Learn more at umgc.edu/thanks. Certified to operate in Virginia by Shell.
AmeriCorps makes a difference in the lives of tens of thousands of Arizona children every year. From tutoring to teaching life skills, AmeriCorps is helping kids build brighter futures. Whether it's teaching, gardening, providing healthcare assistance, or serving at food banks, AmeriCorps is there to support the next generation of Arizonans. Find out how you can get involved at serve.az.gov. This message is sponsored by the Governor's Office of Youth, Faith, and Family.
Not another one.
26-year-old male, wasn't wearing a seatbelt.
How's the driver in the other vehicle?
Yeah, thankfully she's okay. She had her seatbelt on.
It's really sad. You know, these tragedies are entirely preventable.
It said click it or ticket, but for some, they should be so lucky. Besides getting a ticket or a fine, the consequences could take your life. So don't risk it. Click it or ticket. This message is brought to you by NHTSA.
Are you looking for career opportunities with great benefits and job growth? How about the chance to make an impact? What we do here at the City of Phoenix matters. 14,000 employees and counting, all dedicated to making a difference in the communities where they live, work, and play. So come join us. Help us do work that makes Phoenix work. You can see all open positions and apply at phoenix.gov/jobs. This message is sponsored by the City of Phoenix.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. T&Cs apply.
If you're age 62 or older and own a home, this message is for you. Reverse Rob here, Money Radio's expert on reverse mortgages. Learn how to tap the equity in your home and increase the quality of your life by earning tax-free income while protecting your other retirement assets. Join us for our free Second Saturdays webinar every month to learn more. This is not too good to be true. All you need to do is reverse your thinking. Call me today, Reverse Rob, to learn more at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
Download our free sports app and stay up with all the latest sports news, scores, highlights, and more. Or stream us live anywhere
at 1580thefanatic.com.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, Arizona's home for sports.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. All right. Let's get back to it. You know how Pope Leo likes the baseball?
Oh, yeah? Yeah.
Well, it turns out, he's aware. He knows English. You know what I'm saying? He speaks other languages, but he knows English. And so I'm like, all right. So I wondered, it's like, okay, I wonder what kind of pope we're going to end up with here. You know, is he going to be a good guy? Is he going to be a bad guy? Is he going to be weird? Is he going to be remember that Nazi pope? Oh, that guy never felt good, did he? That pope showed up, and you're just always like looking at him. He looked like Senator Palpatine, and you're always like kind of wondering, like, well, what's going to come from this guy? And then we had the Papa Pope.
Palpatine reference.
We had Papa Pope, and he was such a nice guy, Francisco, the one who just passed away.
Yeah.
So anyway, Pope Leo looks to be that's the sports fan Pope, because he's one more than just a Chicago White Sox fan.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably a hockey fan. He's probably a football fan. I'm sure that he's like, hey, we got in the Vatican, and we got the satellite dish, right?
He went to Villanova, so he's a huge. I guarantee you, he loves some college hoops.
So, so Pope Leo's meeting some people, right? He was meeting about 1,000 journalists and stuff like that. And so he meets this one guy, and the one guy, he came up to him with a ball. They wanted him to sign his Rawlings official Major League Baseball.
Yes.
He said, will you sign this? And he goes, White Sox or Cubs? And the guy's like, White Sox. He's like, And he signed his ball. Pope Leo.
No way.
Actually, he signed it Latin style. Leon PPXIV. That was his official Latin.
Wow, there he goes. There he goes.
So the guy walks off. He's like, oh, it's one of the highlights of my life. He's like, yeah, I was kind of wanting this. And he kind of tells the story about how he got it, this guy, Parash. But here's the thing about him. He's actually an Orioles fan. He lied to the Pope.
He lied to the face of the Pope.
This guy lied. Jay, something's going on, right? Something's going on.
For sure.
I just don't know.
Something can't come from
I'm
nothing.
not arrogant to pretend like I know exactly what it is.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure. Even like, Buddhists will be like, you lied to the Pope? Ooh. You don't, you don't probably want to lie to the Pope about that. Doesn't that sully that ball as a piece of memorabilia that he lied to him to get him to sign it?
Now everyone knows. That's the thing that's hard is like, the verdict's out. Like everyone knows you're an Orioles fan. The story's out. And so that makes it a little bit harder.
You know why it was easy for him to lie? Because he's also a personal injury lawyer.
The Pope?
Oh. No, not the Pope.
I was
wrong with
so
you?
confused for
The
a second.
Pope was a priest. And then later a cardinal.
I was like, okay, that's why.
I'm talking about the guy who lied to the Pope. He's a personal injury lawyer.
Oh my gosh. So he's one of those, those guys you see on billboards, those that'll make money off of like someone just gets gently tapped by a car and hurts their neck, quote, and gets like hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Now listen, sometimes though, you do need somebody to help you.
Very
deal
occasionally,
with the insurance companies, or if you're on the other end of a fraudulent thing or something. And I know a guy I went to high school with, a personal injury lawyer. I'm so happy he only works in Las Vegas because when we were 16, I stabbed him in the hand with a fork. That's that guy, old Dave Sampson.
Yeah.
He's like he's like a big deal in Vegas. That's where he's a personal injury lawyer. He's like $1 million. He's one of these guys, but he's a good guy. He's an honorable fella. He's an honest guy. I know this.
Those people make bank.
So you see his billboard, it doesn't give you the heebie-jeebies, you know?
Yeah.
But I just don't. I mean, I did stab him in the hand with a fork. Yeah. I don't know what the statute of limitations is that.
Why would you do such a thing?
Why would you do such a thing?
Haven't I told you this before? This is the guy where we were sitting there at lunch, right? And every day at lunch, I'd go get my food because we couldn't leave the campus when you're the underclassmen. You could only leave campus when you were in a later class. And we're sitting there, and so we'd always have our table, and me and my pals, and he was one of them. And I'd sit there, and what he knew, Dave knew, is I don't care for the French fries that much. They have to be skinny and thin and greasy and salty, and then I'll like McDonald's, and I'll go crazy on them.
Yeah.
But the school French fries, we're always like, no, thank you.
Those are never good.
But you go through the line, they give you the tray, you get your thing, and then there's the French fries.
Yeah.
So one day I'm sitting there eating my lunch, hanging out there, and he goes, "Hey, you're not gonna eat your fries?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Can I have them?" Sure. And so then that was fine. The next day, I'm sitting there, I'm eating. All of a sudden, this meaty claw of a hand comes over and starts pulling my French fry. I'm like, "Hey, what the hell, man?" He's like, "Well, do you want your fries?" "No, but at least ask." This went on for months. He just would grab my fries, and I'd say, "Dude, ask." And sorry. Dave's a good guy, but when Dave sees a French fry, he thinks it needs to be inside him. So
I feel that, Dave. I feel that, Dave. I'm right with you.
Months of me saying, "Damn it, Dave! One time I said, you do that one more time, I'm stabbing you in the hand." And he's like, "No, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I'll remember." Next day, that hand came over, and I just meant to poke him. So I just went, "Ah!" We were both our eyes got big. He didn't even scream out at first. I planted that fork in his hand.
Oh my gosh.
Ah! It is slow build to the scream.
You got to do what you got to do, though, Jeffrey. You gave him so many chances.
No, I felt bad.
You made it clear.
I didn't need to stab him all the way in the hand. I didn't mean to. I didn't know my own strength. It's a school fork, right?
Right.
But I just meant to poke him.
Was it plastic or was it?
No, it was metal.
Oh, ouch.
And then I'm like, that can't be sanitary. But luckily I hadn't eaten from it yet. So he didn't get an infection, but I got in a little trouble there. And he even was pleading with him. So just take it easy. But nobody ever took food off my plate again.
Now, every time Dave, the personal injury lawyer, probably sees a fry, he thinks of that fork.
I don't need another personal injury. I'm not even going to ask. He's just like, I'm just going to.
But could you imagine if that didn't happen? Like maybe he's going to random tables and restaurants, like
doing the Helen Keller.
I'll just take that. Going to.
Oh, George, no, I didn't get suspended or anything. I just got a very stern talking to, and there was conversation that I would only be allowed plastic forks for a while. That did come up, but no, that was in high school. And it's a absolute true story. I can bring Dave in if I need to.
You weren't suspended from school, Jeffrey?
No, not at all.
You were not?
No.
Were you, Randy?
Oh, never. No.
You mean ever?
Wait.
Do you mean ever? Oh, yeah, I was. Yeah.
Okay, I was too.
There was a couple of fights, and but everything else was mischief.
Did you win all of them?
Every time.
Oh, yeah.
I never lost a fight. The problem was I never lost a fight, and then I changed schools, and some other kid who knew me from that school was like, he thinks he's a badass, and I didn't. I was just trying to make friends, and everybody wanted to fight me. You know how it goes.
Right.
So I was like, well, if I fight you, will you be my friend after?
Maybe they were
just trying to make friends.
Maybe they were intimidated at how friendly and kind you were. They were like, oh,
this other kid, Sean Yarger, was just talking some crap and got me into all kinds of fights. But that came to a close after I kept beating the hell out of everyone.
Yeah, and now you have Dave. And so if you get into a fight, you have a great established personal injury lawyer to help you out right there.
The personal injury lawyer can't help you with that kind of thing.
It can't?
No. It becomes a criminal thing. I got to get George involved.
No, I thought he could. I was about to get into so many fights.
Go ahead.
No,
we'll be right there. Hamilton Porter says, maybe now we'll get a yearly March Madness bracket from the Pope. And it'll probably be the first perfect one
there
ever.
You go.
Heck yeah. That would be awesome.
Well, I don't think they'd let him, because if it's not perfect, then they're going to be like, oh, that kind of makes him, makes the whole system look wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Could you imagine though, if the Pope was the only one with the perfect bracket? That would be pretty nuts.
You'd have to say it's inspired.
That would be.
Mr. Wilbur says Jeffrey's parents used to have to tie a piece of steak around his neck just so the dog would play with him. That is a very old joke, and even if it's true, it's doesn't hurt my feelings, Wilbur. Commando Duke says, I think the injury you gave him helped him find his purpose. I think so too. A little part of me likes to think I'm responsible for his multi-million-dollar injury practice there, and I should get a cut.
You should get a cut.
I'm not even letting. I don't even let them know when I'm in Vegas. I'm just a little worried about that.
Yeah.
Number one Rattlers fan says, in junior high, I once hit my buddy in the eye with a cotton swab. It had formaldehyde in the, because we were in science class. He let out a scream, and I got suspended 3 days. And he wore a patch for 2 weeks. We ended up playing Atari for 2 straight days. Wait, so your friend got suspended too for the formaldehyde thing? That don't seem right.
No.
I've never liked that thing where you get in a fight in school, the other guy starts it, but then you get suspended because you defended yourself?
Well,
I think that's garbage.
That's a thing like in the NBA, that happens all the time. When someone defends himself or football in the NFL and then they get penalized, it's not their fault. But that person always ends up getting unfairly punished.
Pick. and Paul George for Kevin Durant. Kindly F off with that nonsense.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
There's nobody at 3.
I actually
that
think
you really would want to give up.
I'm actually not kidding. I think Phoenix would be winning that trade.
Really?
I do. I think Phoenix will be winning that trade. I don't think that's going to happen.
If we got Paul George and a number 3 pick.
Yep.
It's not going to happen.
No.
But I don't.
That wouldn't happen.
Who's number 3?
Number 3 could probably be Ace Bailey, Kasparis Jakusionis, possibly from Illinois. There's some good players.
You just made that name up.
No, I did not. It totally sounds made up. Kasparis Jakusionis is a great player, Jeffrey. He's a phenomenal athlete.
Lost Toby says Pope, Holy Parlay, Villanova, White Sox, World Series, and the Bears.
All of that is going to be, that's a reach. That's a crazy reach.
It would be a miracle.
It would.
Bears win the Super Bowl, White Sox win the World Series, Villanova wins the chip.
That may take divine intervention.
Yeah, I don't think they'll let him do that.
He is the Pope.
Yeah, that wouldn't happen.
Well, all I know is Jason Parash misrepresented himself in getting that ball, so I think that sullies it.
He lied to the Pope to his face.
I don't know what I believe, but I'm not going to take a chance on that.
Nope.
And it's rare for popes to autograph things too. Like they never do that. But balls and stuff. Like Pope Francis, I don't think he autographed anything.
No, actually, I think he did. I don't think he autographed sports memorabilia, but I think he signed a Lamborghini that was gifted to him for charity that they gave away. I think.
Cool.
All right, hour 3 is next. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. Call 800-549-8866. That's 800-549-8866.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
O'Reilly. Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. The service is free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we could recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today. O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Step into softness with the carpet upgrade from the Home Depot. Our stylish choices and simple prices make selecting new carpet simple. With our total project price match guarantee and installation starting just 49 cents per square foot, nobody beats our prices. Enjoy our everyday low prices on carpet with the softness and durability to take on anything life throws its way. Refresh with new carpet today from the Home Depot. Base price for standard installations only. Exclusions apply. For licenses, see homedepot.com/license numbers.
My pain is considerable, but that prescription is dangerous. The side effects of my medicine are worse than my condition.
I'm in recovery. I can't take those pills.
When faced with a health crisis, you shouldn't have to choose between risks. At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our naturopathic doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. Our naturopathic doctors can restore pain-free joint function and restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves immediate physical symptoms without having you take a bunch of pills. If traditional medicines aren't working, don't you think it's time to start feeling like yourself again? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342. T&Cs apply. Available in app only.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
Quiet, people, settle down because it's time.
For what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Harris Hicks in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harbin Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And I stand corrected. George sent this over. I guess Pope Francis, actually, he did sign a baseball, and he signed it Francisco. And that's supposed to get about $15,000 at auction. That's right.
Well, it was
think,
like at the very end.
I mean, he's not signing jerseys and stuff like that, but yeah, I mean, they're supposed to be good guys, you know. So you're like, hey, can you sign this? They're like, yeah, okay, you know, why not? Yeah, as long as you're not like going to do evil with this, why not? So all right, listen, let's get back to the talking to sports and stuff. Today, they reported that Pittsburgh Pirates pitcher Paul Skeens will pitch for Team USA in the 2026 World Baseball Classic. Oh, that should be fun.
That
awesome. Should be fun. Right there.
Love the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah,
man. It's a fun event. I mean, when the U.S. played against Japan, that was a freaking hit.
It's a great fun for everybody, but the teams and the managers who sit there and go, "Oh God, please don't get hurt."
There was some weird stuff in the World Baseball Classic too, though. Because remember, Randy Arozarena played for Mexico, and it was like there was some weird deal I can't remember that caused him to play for Mexico. Like there were some like, why is that guy playing for that team? Like I think Lars Nootbaar was playing for, was it Japan?
I feel like you just made that name up too.
No, that's a legit name. Lars Nootbaar.
Today's the day of Harris just making up names. I don't know. It's an actual name, Jeff. I've got to back up. The name is Lars. You're always too easy on the kid. No, I'm not being easy on him. He is speaking the truth at this point.
Thank you, Randy. This is a legitimate name. He played for the Cardinals for
Lars Nootbaar.
Lars Nootbaar.
Yeah, and he played. I thought he played for somebody that I would have thought he was with the team. What is it? Team Dutch, whatever. Holland or not Holland. Oh gosh, what is it? I can't think of it right now. Well, anyway, it must be the team where everybody pays equally, right? They all go Dutch. He played for. Was it Australia?
Japan. He played for Japan.
Japan.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, he played for Japan. Went to USC.
Yeah.
Which maybe he has a connection.
Lars
I don't know.
Nootbaar.
I don't know. Maybe he has a connection. The Rosarena one I know was like really odd. I'm gonna have to go.
Wasn't
back
it
and see
his
the story
mom
on
or
that.
his something like that?
It was
By the way, Cavaliers making an attempt right now. They are up 48-37 over the Pacers, just in case you care, and even if you don't. Rosarino, the San Francisco treat.
Yeah, honestly, Cavaliers, it's unfortunate what happened to them. They just got really injured at the wrong time. But hey,
is there a right time, Harris?
Yeah, the playoffs.
There's no right time to get injured.
The playoffs.
It sucks to be injured no matter when it happens. Just sucks worse during the
Well,
playoffs.
that's true.
Right. Just saying at the worst time possible. You know.
So there you go. Skeens is going to play.
Let's
I hope
go.
that just
I
made
love
your-
that.
made
That's
your
so
day.
cool. Made my day.
Yeah.
Thank you for making my day, Jeffrey.
I liked the other day where Josh Jung, is it Jung? Or is it
Jung, yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Jung or Young?
Jung.
You sure?
Pretty
Josh Jung. Because the Jung might be pronounced Young. Can we get a-
No, it is Young. It's Young. Josh Young.
Look at that. I just schooled somebody on pronunciation. What's this world coming to?
Josh Young.
So Josh Young, his Mother's Day. He's like, oh, yeah. And his mom was there at the game, and
before the game, Mary Young, she takes the game ball to the mound, and her sons were on the field. Oh, what a magnificent Mother's Day. Josh Young playing for the Rangers. His brother Jace, plays for the Detroit Tigers.
Yeah.
And what a great family moment. And then after that, Josh Young was like, "In your face, Jace!" Bam! Hits a home run for his mom.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, how can you not get romantic about baseball?
And he's like, "Hey, Jace, what'd you get, Mom?" "Oh no." Oh no.
Yeah, that's exactly.
And to make it worse, Texas won 10-3.
That's exactly how my brother feels. Usually around Mother's
immediately,
Day.
Josh went up and said, "Happy Mother's Day, Mom."
Mm-hmm. What'd you get her, Jace? "Oh, nothing." Oh no. Have a nice ride home. So how about Eva Longoria signing a contract to retire as a member of the Tampa Bay Rays? I had no idea she was even affiliated with the team.
It's Evan Longoria.
Eva Longoria.
Yeah, I got to get my glasses.
Yeah, Evan Longoria.
So that makes more sense now that you
one
say
day
it.
contract, because he came up with the Rays. You may recall Longo playing a season with the Diamondbacks and did pretty good defensively at third base, but was not Evan Longoria of years ago when he would bounce him out of the trop.
Also not Eva Longoria. So
correct.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, Evan Longoria, he's going to retire as a member of the Tampa Bay Rays.
Longoria.
I've always called him Longoria.
No, I don't think you have.
I thought that in Spanish you pronounce the G like
no, he's not Spanish at all. It's Evan Longoria. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was doing so well earlier on the whole
yeah, and you did
young
really
thing.
Yeah,
So
you did.
were
You
feeling
did
it.
well.
You were feeling it, Jeffrey.
You tried to carry it out where it didn't need to go. A circle in a square hole, Jeff.
I'm Icarus. I got too close to the sun, didn't I?
Yes,
Just flew too close.
Yep,
Right.
too close.
It happens to all of us.
No, it doesn't. Stop saying that's another one of your crutches. Stop saying that. You said that yesterday. Don't say that anymore.
You fly too
It
close
doesn't
to the
happen
sun.
to all of us.
I've gotten too close to the sun here and there.
Yeah.
And then I get sunburned. It happens.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
I'm just saying. I got to wear.
You're no
you gotta
longer
wear
allowed to say
sunscreen.
that either.
When you're that close to the sun, you got to wear sunscreen. Sometimes you get burned.
Lost Toby says Randy defected to Mexico from Cuba and pled to the Mexican government to make him eligible to play for the team because he loved their culture.
Never. But I do love the Latino culture. I love their food specifically.
Randy's all about it.
Can I say tonight on Taco what? Taco what?
Tuesday.
Yeah. Miss Kim went to the store and we're doing it up right, deluxe style. We got some of that meat, and it's marinating now. It's not ground beef with the McCormick's in it. No, we made up our own stuff, and it's marinating and it's gonna go in the hot pan. And we got the tortillas and the stuff. Oh my God! It's what? Taco what? Taco what?
Tuesday.
Thank you.
Hold on, I gotta go find out if I'm having tacos.
Okay, we will stand by. Are you having Taco Tuesday tonight,
Randy? I was going to ask you. Do you have an extra chair?
Huh?
Do you have an
you're
extra
more
chair?
than welcome to come over. Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, you're more than welcome to come by the Hacienda.
Oh.
Did you move? Are you successfully moved?
Okay,
now?
so moving June 1st.
Oh, June 1st.
June
okay.
1st is
She
when
left
I'm
me
moving.
in suspense. She said maybe.
Maybe.
I called down to her and she's like, maybe.
Carne asada meats.
No, it's a bad maybe. She sounded annoyed. She sounded
in
annoyed.
the cast iron. Oh my God! Marinating now in the fridge as I speak. Look,
I think right now my wife
hands
is
just went
marinating. I
crazy.
think she's annoyed with me.
Oh boy,
I might not get Taco Tuesday today. Because she loves it too. So
yeah.
Jeffrey, you
not
missed it.
sure. Harris, you'll have to drive through someplace.
Randy just invited me over actually for his Taco Tuesday.
You invited Harris to
I'm
your house?
officially
Sure.
I'm
Where
officially
you live?
Why not?
I'm officially
Hey.
a part of the cool kids. I made it to the cool kids table
not gonna hurt anything.
finally for the first time.
Oh,
my
yeah.
God.
Calm down, Harris.
Yes.
I don't know why he
did it.
feels like he's part of the cool kids. It's my house, not yours.
Well,
Harris, just
I think Randy. I see Randy as one of the cool kids.
Mm,
I see Randy
I
is
am
that
cool
guy
grandpa.
at the lunch table who
like-
everyone is
no.
begging to sit with.
Harris, give your
I'm-
balls a tug. All right, come on, man.
I'm
Try to
that-
act like you've been somewhere.
I'm that weird guy, that janitor-looking cat in the cafeteria.
And that was me.
That's me, right here.
Lost Toby says Randy is still not eligible for the carne asada invite.
What?
What?
Randy,
Randy Arrows Arena.
Ew.
I don't know.
Randy, I was actually boys with the janitor in high school.
Mm-hmm.
It was awesome.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I got the big keychain on there that opens every door in the.
I mean,
in this school and 7 other schools.
Isn't that
Yeah.
awesome? His name was Bill. He was the man.
Yeah,
Shout
see,
out Bill.
mine wouldn't have been Bill. It'd have been Mr. Guy.
Mr. Guy.
Yeah.
We would have been boys.
The
Swave
kids there
Dave
would
totally
never know
would've
my
been.
name. Never.
Swave Dave, we're not doing that. He wants to know if tomorrow's Wonton Wednesday. No,
No.
we're not doing that.
No.
We've discussed this. We're not doing
Yeah.
that. Big George says, Randy, can I come over for Taco Tuesday? I'll be there
No.
in 6 hours.
No.
Moist One says, I also studied under a master of custodial arts.
Huh? Big George, you know you are always welcome in my house. Always.
I want to meet Big George.
You will meet his navel. He's that big.
So I hear. Am I going to be up to like belly button? Am I like belly button?
That's what I
navel
just
is,
said.
Harris.
Yeah. You will meet his navel.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that's what.
He will have to bend down to you.
Actually, I
Hello
didn't even know
down
that
there, small human being.
Hello, young man.
No, it's small human
Where
being.
are you? I can't see you.
Allow me to pick you up by your ears. Stand by.
All I can think about now is whether or not I'll have tacos or not tonight. I'm not sure. This taco uncertainty is very unsettling.
That is very unsettling.
Harris
Jeffrey,
can drive over to Taco Bell or Jack in Box, get tacos right now. Randy's got tacos that are 100% sure to happen.
Refried beans, sour creamy. Got the veg to go on it. I got the carne asada right now, moistening and marinating in the refrigerator right now. Mhm. Oh, my friends.
I think I should have asked nicer than just yelling down the stairs.
I keep
well,
wondering
good
why
help.
do I
Yeah.
leave this show so hungry every time? Well, this.
I just thought you
This
said
is
you were
the
poor. Big
That
George
is
says,
a little bit true, actually.
I'll be back in Phoenix
There's
Labor
some
Day
truth to that.
weekend, Harris. We can all get together then.
On Labor Day weekend? Hey, maybe.
Against the Spread says, I'm familiar with the Lars Nootbaar as a Cardinal fan. His
Yeah.
mother is from Japan, and he
Ah,
was the bat boy for the team Japan in
There you
2006.
go.
And would
That's it.
practice with the team in California.
Got it.
I believe some team members stayed at his house too. The Cuban-born player that plays for Mexico has Mexican citizenship
Yeah.
because he defected to Mexico
Yes.
Got
to
it.
gain citizenship
A
to be
Rosarino.
able to get to the United States.
Yes, a
Obviously, now
Rosarino.
he can't return to Cuba.
No, that's true.
I think a Rosarina gained citizenship. I could be wrong.
I don't
But
know
I
why
heard
Cuba
this
Gooding Jr.
Gained
is so hard on
citizenship
people.
from Mexico to
Cuba.
play so he could play for them.
Cuba, the island.
But Lars Nootbaar, yeah, that
Yeah.
Every man is
Makes
an
sense.
island, Randy. I understand.
Well, maybe.
I get that.
Maybe.
Yep. Every man is an island.
Well, thank you against the spread. That's very helpful.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Not sure why, but I think it is.
It is helpful.
So, in case you're sitting there doing the math, a lot of people listen, like we do for football. This is something we do generally more for football, but there's got to be people out there who have a board with string connected to this and connected to that, like a crime scene board, like a
Could be.
murder board. You know,
Yeah.
you see all the detectives and stuff. It's not going to be us. It might be Sham Sharania. It might be some other guys like that who are like, all right, so now the draft lottery has been sorted, rigged, or just whatever, accepted. And Cooper Flagg is the number one pick, of course. And now that means he's probably going to the Mavericks, who now have the number one pick. Nobody else worth a damn that could pass in front of Cooper Flagg, right? I mean, there's just no way.
No, it would be highly unlikely.
Right.
Highly unlikely.
So now it's already been stated the Mavericks are not interested in trading that pick. They
Yes.
said, we plan to draft Cooper Flagg, period. We are not interested in trading the number one pick. Are they saying that to sweeten the pot, or are they absolutely 100% serious? Is this kind of like what they do in the NFL? You know, like when an owner says, we have absolute confidence in this coach. No, he's fired. And then in the NFL, they're like, we absolutely are thrilled with the idea. Nope. And then they trade their picks. So does that translate to the NBA, or is this honestly, no, the Mavericks are gonna draft Cooper Flagg?
The NBA draft does the exact same thing as the NFL to a lesser extent, because there's not as big of a media presence around it as there is in the NFL draft. So there's not as much you can do to use the media as a flute to hype some player up and to get a team to over gamble on him because there's a fear he's going to be taken. But there is some of that. Look, I don't believe it when I say that the Mavericks are 100% confident that they're not trading. Anything is possible. Any trade offer that goes your way and you see it, you may say no at one point, but when that offer hits you, oh, you could think something different easily. I've heard a lot of people say they're going to do one thing. I'm going to stay with this team, and then this is going to happen in the NBA. So I'm not going to believe it. Now, that being said, Dallas has got 2 30-plus-year-old players, and they're trying to compete for a championship right now. That alone makes me think, is Dallas better to bring in a guy who's old enough and developed fully to win now, or are they better with just building around Cooper Flagg? So I feel like with Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis being on your team, you're trying to win now. Therefore, my assumption was you trade the number 1 for Giannis, maybe for Kevin Durant, but it appears they're not doing that. Maybe you're right, Jeffrey. Maybe they're trying to spice this pick up for another team to really over gamble on it.
Well, barring that, then it looks like the Mavericks are going with Cooper Flagg. So then you got to start thinking about his game and the game of the players who at least are currently on the team to try to start seeing, okay, they're going to need to move this guy out. They're going to need to bring somebody in. It gives you a better picture of maybe what you can do with your team. Swave Dave says, on a whim, I picked up the late night taco Doritos in the bag there. I assume they're formulated after Taco Bell there. You know what? Don't bother picking them up, he says. Oh, I've had Doritos tacos. They're not too bad. I wanted to try them little teeny tacos. You seen the little teeny tacos?
No.
Did I dream that? I thought they
like little teeny tacos.
Yeah, little miniature tacos. Did I dream that? Just the Tip says shells. Oh, I see. He made taco holders out of some crushed empty Busch Light cans.
Before
Busch beer.
We go back to the we'll go back to the tacos. I just wanted to share this quick stat here. Dallas is the 5th oldest team in the NBA by age.
Did you just interrupt me talking about tacos?
I did. I wanted to share that just so the people understood.
Hold on to that because I'm looking at Just the Tip's genius taco shell holder beer cans, and he says the shells were made with a little light oil right next to the cast iron cooking in the carne asada right there. And he said you got to shape those shells fresh out of the pan, so that's why you put them into the crushed cradle of the beer can.
Well, screw that Dallas stat now. I want tacos.
This is way more important than so much you have to say, Harris.
Right, my eyes have been enlightened. Okay.
Kiss the Cook says, hey, shut up, Harris. If the Mavs want to keep their fan base, they'll draft Cooper. Well, why does Harris have to shut up?
Why was I not? I wasn't.
I mean, he could shut up about interrupting about the taco thing, but what do you tell him to shut up for?
I wasn't disagreeing with the fact that Dallas should or shouldn't take Cooper Flagg. I was
Cook must be a Mavericks.
He must be really cranky. I don't know. Maybe he didn't have his tacos today.
He says, "Oh, you know why? Oh, I know why.
Why?
His last text that I haven't read yet.
Oh,
he's having vegetarian black bean fajitas tonight.
Oh, I'm so sorry about
when they're
that.
vegetarian, that'll make you cranky.
I'd be cranky too.
Sure
I'd be cranky. Yeah.
Lost Toby says Randy Aaron's defected to Mexico from Cuba and pled to the Mexican government to make him eligible to play with the team because he loved their culture. Had nothing to do with coming to the U.S. He just wanted to play for Mexico and went to the then president of Mexico to get that eligibility. Against the Spread says, who would they trade Cooper Flagg to anyway? No way Giannis is a fair deal for Flagg, but would the Suns trade Durant for Flagg? Maybe a sign and trade. KD would be a good fit for Dallas in the short term.
Maybe in the short term. I feel like Dallas could get more. This is
doesn't sound like a great idea for Phoenix, though.
I think it would be a good idea.
You think so?
I
Start to build around him and Devin Booker?
Heck yeah, because it's pretty
You're going to call
Cooper
Flagg a big. He's a big, right? You're going to call him a big.
A big, yeah.
6'9".
He's 6'9". Yeah. It's pretty clear that Phoenix is not winning a championship right now with this team.
Well, yeah, we're not even.
I think we can move on from that. I think we can establish that.
Mhm.
So with that understanding, you have to say, all right, we have to rebuild. We have to do something else. And I think this would ignite them into a rebuild.
Do you think they do this deal?
Phoenix.
What else can you give them?
Heck yeah, they would do that deal.
No,
I think
not Phoenix.
Oh,
the
Dallas.
Mavericks.
Dallas. No, I think you'd have to throw in more than Kevin Durant.
And what do we even have to throw in?
Goodness gracious. I don't even know. That like Tyus Jones, maybe. Goodness, you'd have to throw in more picks. But then again, the reason why I paused is because they didn't have any picks to throw in.
Mm-hmm.
So you might have to throw in more than Brad Beal too. But then again, they don't want to take that contract. And so, oh goodness, I don't even know.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah, they may have to throw in a pick or two, which that would
Mavericks
be worth
are
it.
like Devin Booker.
No, I don't think you'd want to give up Booker. I think you'd, with
I'm
how
just saying
loyal
what
he is.
you'd have to do is something you wouldn't do.
I think Ryan Dunn would be a pretty good asset. He's really good
Dun
defensively.
dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
Grayson Allen's a great 3-point shooter. I think if you threw in Ryan Dunn and Oso Ighodaro, maybe those could be good.
So you give them Kevin Durant.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. And who's the other guy?
Oso Ighodaro.
That'd be enough.
And a pick.
We don't have any picks.
You like
We're out of
2028. Oh goodness. And 2028.
2072 pick.
Yeah, here's your 35-57 pick. Second rounder. That's what
Moist One says, give him Bobo.
Bobo wouldn't be bad.
Kiss the Cook says, throw in Harris. Sorry, Harris.
Wow.
Dallas wouldn't accept that.
We're gonna have to throw you in.
I'm a hooper. I'll say
Ross
that.
Toby says Mavericks also said they absolutely weren't trading Luka though, right? So it'd be
That's
the
what I'm
most hilarious
saying.
thing if Nico Harris ended up picking someone else other than Cooper Flagg with the #1 pick.
Could you imagine? That would be Twitter would shut down. It would not.
Against the spread says throwing Grayson Allen in some picks. Nobody wants Beal. I'd keep Dunn and Oso. There's no picks.
Well, here's the
dun.
thing. You can't keep
We're
Dunn
out of
and
picks.
Oso. You can't keep Dunn and Oso in this because those guys are really good young assets that can develop. And Dallas probably want that. So
Well, let's check in here. The Pacers are crawling back. In fact, they're within 4 at halftime. It's 56-52. And there's no score yet between the Jets and the Stars in the NHL. So that's what's what. Kiss the Cook says Mavs need a point. Kyrie is done with the Achilles injury.
Yeah, I mean, what do you mean Mavs need a point guard is what he's saying. Kyrie's not done with the Achilles injury. No.
We got to take a break.
Yeah.
When we come back, we'll talk about other things. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with a Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
My best friend died suddenly, and now his wife and kids have to move out of their house. I had no idea he didn't have life insurance. If I could go back, I'd tell him how easy and affordable protecting your family can be with SelectQuote. In 15 minutes, a licensed insurance agent found me a $500,000 life insurance policy for only $18 a month. They compare many of the nation's most highly rated insurance carriers to find the right coverage and price for your needs. In the last 40 years, they've helped more than 2 million families secure over $700 billion in coverage. Even if you have a health concern, SelectQuote agents can find you the right policy at the lowest price. Don't wait until it's too late. Get peace of mind that your loved ones are protected with life insurance.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-480-5454 for your free quote today. That's 1-800-480-5454 or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-480-5454. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Not another one.
26-year-old male, wasn't wearing a seatbelt.
How's the driver in the other vehicle?
Yeah, thankfully she's okay. She had her seatbelt on.
It's really sad. You know, these tragedies are entirely preventable.
It said click it or ticket, but for some, they should be so lucky. Besides getting a ticket or a fine, the consequences could take your life. So don't risk it. Click it or ticket. This message is brought to you by NHTSA.
The Rich Eisen Show.
At the end of the day, the Luka for Anthony Davis trade winds up with a grand total of one combined NBA playoff win for the two teams involved in the season in which the trade was made. And the amount of time we spent here and other shows spent here and the amount of print, the amount of digital stories, all of it that we've spent about it. Grand total, one playoff win in the year in which it happened.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at 9 a.m. on 1580, The Fanatic.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. You know, I really like talking with Randy during the commercial breaks more than I've liked talking with former co-hosts. Because
why is that?
Well, we've had some in the past that would be talking about girls all the time because he was perpetually single and kind of pathetic. And you're like, oh, do you see that girl? And what did I always say? No, man, I'm happily married. I got a beautiful wife, and leave Randy alone too. He's not going to look at this girl. I mean, just be a gentleman. You don't have to be talking so. And it was. Oh, by the way, I saw him.
Is this Eric?
We don't say his name.
Oh, okay.
I didn't say it was. It is, but I saw. I saw him. This is a bizarre coincidence. There's this British gal who was on The Bachelor, who tried out to be on the Daily Blender back when it was just an entertainment show. It was just
no kidding,
just a fun show.
Wow. Okay. And
to be honest, she's a little dirty for my taste.
Okay.
Like vulgar.
So so then fast forward, she's doing she's doing like a matchmaking like online show.
Okay.
Very professionally done, by the way. TV lights and everything. She has a co-host, and they have people on, and they talk about stuff, and they try to get them dates and stuff. Guess who showed up on that?
No.
Yep.
Our old friend, our old pal.
Yep. And the clip that made it online, which I don't think is helping his chances to find a girl, was he was talking about the time that some woman he went on a date with brought a baby she was in the process of adopting.
Oh no.
Some stories,
my gosh.
Maybe don't. Dude. So I just want to say, Randy, how much I appreciate being able to talk about a 1979 Jeep Cherokee Chief.
We talk cars and junk.
Right.
As men should. Honestly, as men should do. Goodness gracious.
Talking about
crazy.
Women.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Be respectful.
In his defense, I think deep inside, he's a good guy, and he means well. He's just
perpetually single.
Yeah.
You spent time with a different person than I did. Big George says, hey, can we set up this British girl with the moist one? No, she's married to like an airline pilot. So she's happily married and has kids and everything. She's very nice and everything. But I was a little worried about what might get said,
too vulgar for you. I honestly did not think that there was.
Shut your stupid mouth, Harris.
I didn't even think there was a possibility. I'm going to be honest, man. When I heard that, I was like, too vulgar. What? She must be the most vulgar person on the planet.
I mean, vulgar might be strong. She was a little bit too risque. How's that?
Okay.
I'm not. She was great. She's nice. I don't mean to insult her at all. Firefighter, I don't know what the dating show is called. He goes, are they still taking applications? Well, maybe. I'll find that link and I'll share it with you. I don't know if I'm going to do it online. I might just send you an email with it, Randy. But it's yeah.
They're going to have a uproar of all these people from the fourth dimension trying out. It's like, up next, we've got Moist
That's
One.
why I don't want to maybe have anything to do with it. So,
right.
So Randy,
yes, maybe.
I grew up in Oregon.
Yes, you did.
spent half my life as a child in Oregon, then as a teenager on here, and then been here ever since.
Yeah.
And so I've had culture shock. I've lived in small town. I've lived in this giant town. I've seen it all.
Absolutely.
But as a child of Oregon, as a child who ran through the forests and had BB gun fights and just enjoyed the weather, I loved the rain. I loved the forest. I love everything about Oregon except for all the damn hippies. But so
I love them too.
Well, I mean, yeah, but you haven't been exposed to the downtown Portland hippies.
Okay, I've never been to Portland. I've heard crazy things about Portland.
Yeah,
I have been to Seattle. Is it similar?
Steer clear of Portland right now. It hasn't always been that way, but it's gotten a little rough. Anyway, that's not what I'm trying to get at. So remember when the Phoenix Suns were suddenly for sale, and you were suggesting that I buy the Phoenix Suns?
Yes, I remember that. Yes,
and I kind of like I don't know, and I feel like maybe I should have.
Yeah,
I feel like maybe I missed a great opportunity. Well, now another opportunity has presented itself.
Okay, let's listen. Here we go.
Paul Allen Estate is saying that the Trailblazers are officially now for sale.
Wow, Jeffco. Here we go.
Wow.
Here we go.
Daily Blender bid.
Maybe 3.5 billion.
Oh, that's you could pull that off. Come on.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, the Celtics just sold for $6 billion, so I don't know if that comp raises it. But Sportico was saying the Blazers, their valuation is 3.6. And Harris, here's a little thing you're going to learn: don't ever offer what they're asking. So, like, I'd come to them and say, "Tell you what, 2.9 billion," and they're going to say 3.6. No, 2.9. Then they'll go 3.4 billion, and I'll say 3.1 billion. And then I'll ignore them for a while. They'll get nervous.
Right.
And then they'll accept my bid.
So I'm going to say, how about $17? How
about how much you have in the bank?
Yeah, that's about it.
You can make that bid. I don't think they're going to accept it.
They're going to hang the phone up on you.
Yeah.
And then I'll say, how about I'll double it, 34. And they'll be like, oh, now we're talking.
That's a brave move. That's a good move. I mean, it also makes you look desperate.
And it's still going to hang the phone
up.
You
don't double your last bid. I don't think you ever double the last bid.
Never.
Right, yeah.
You got to move incrementally.
Right. Yep. That's a good point. So maybe like 32.
You double it. That just shows you're too desperate.
It shows I'm too desperate. I'm too dependent on it, which is a bad quality. They don't want to see that.
You know what I would do?
What would you do?
No, this is too mean. I'd buy the Trailblazers and then I'd move it to Seattle and rename them the Supersonics.
There you go.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that.
There you go.
There's nothing wrong with that. You got to bring
instantly. You have got a return on your investment of another billion. Easy, Jeffco.
Yes, and gosh, I mean, there's some NBA team that needs to go, and the Sonics need to happen. Whether that's an expansion or like the Pelicans or the Hornets or something, you can do without them.
You know, I just realized I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be putting the bid on the Trailblazers because I got my eye on this sweet '79 Jeep Cherokee Chief, and it's $22,900, and that'll if I do the 3.5 billion for the Trailblazers, I think I won't have enough left over for the Jeep.
Well,
yeah, that's a bad value on the
could
Blazers.
Be a company car, though. I mean,
it could be.
Could be a company car. See what I mean?
I don't like to mix part of the business and pleasure.
Part of the O'Brien Professional Sports Enterprises LLC fleet.
Very professional, Randy.
Thank you.
Can I tell you something that they do with the cars nowadays when you see them online I don't like? They're taking pictures of everything in low light. They figured out what the unfortunate looking people would do is they'd be like, oh, I'm going to take a picture of myself that's blurry and it's in low light. And then like all of a sudden they get a date. And so it's like, they're like, ooh, we should do that with cars. Carvana and CarMax, if you look at it, when you go in there, look at the cars, it all looks dimly lit. They don't have shine on them, you know, and it makes you almost think, ooh, that's not very shiny. And then when you see it in real life, you're like, holy crap, that's shiny. I don't like the dimly lit car photos in ads. I feel like it's misleading. You know what else is misleading? And when you're looking on Zillow at the houses, and they're like, oh, look at this room, and it's like clearly it's stretched. The pictures are stretched at certain angles.
Oh,
I feel like that should be against the law.
False advertising.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm just saying, I think everything should be in appropriate lighting. Base Slappa says, "What are you doing in the desert, Jeffrey?" Nothing. What are you doing? I'm just doing a show right
hanging
now.
out.
Yeah.
Wilbur says, "Come on, Jeffrey. Peaches and Herb reunite there with DeAndre and Jeffrey." Yeah, I'm gonna. That'll be the first thing I do is have a meeting with DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah. Did you not like DeAndre Ayton? Are you guys not friends?
We were disappointed with him.
Okay.
Because
severely,
first pick in the draft, we were thrilled to have him, a big who was athletic and he was a beast and he could just change any game. But then his effort when he was here, when it mattered, it was like, and he kind of sleptwalked through the finals. He cost us the championship by just whatever. I don't know what the personal thing was between him and Monty. I don't know what triggered DeAndre Ayton to not give full effort when we really needed that full effort. He didn't have that killer instinct when we needed the killer instinct. Instead of going just bam with authority, he would kind of roll it off his fingers to try to get in the back, and then it wouldn't go in the basket. He'd miss. It's like, come on, you're right there. Put it in the hole. And so that we had a lot of frustration about DeAndre Ayton. And it turns out, we find out later, well, so did the coach, so did the players, to where DeAndre Ayton was miserable being here. So that whole thing was just a ginormous disappointment. Did I leave anything out, Randy?
No, I think you covered it. Yeah,
it baffles me to this day that Luka Doncic did not get picked number 1 overall in that draft. He won a EuroLeague MVP at age 18.
You know why? Because there were mumblings that he might not want to come to the United States. There were rumblings. I don't know if it was he didn't want to come to the United States and play, or he didn't want to come and play for the Suns. I don't know if that was part of it, but there was
baffling.
There was a risk. If you took him, you wouldn't get him.
I didn't even hear about that.
And the Phoenix Suns getting the number 1 pick was huge. Oh my God, we needed that. And it helped build some things for the team. So even though we ultimately were disappointed in DeAndre Ayton, that moment and what was built there was really good. I mean, look, we went to the finals.
Yeah. Ayton wasn't bad. But I still would have.
He didn't show up for those finals.
No, he wasn't bad, but he wasn't good either.
Right. For a number 1 overall pick, it's like, especially with the guys, that draft was stacked. You had Luka, you had Trae Young. I think SGA was in that draft too. I think he went at 14.
Well, nobody knew for sure about that.
I was a big, I'll have you know. I was a massive SGA guy. I thought he should have gone number like 2 overall.
Back to the Suns and DeAndre Ayton, though. If you really, really look at that.
Yes.
It wasn't us. It was him. Look at him now.
Right.
He's still hit and miss. He's still kind of just meandering through. And I think he's just trying to collect checks and not get hurt. He's not really, he's not a team guy.
Which is a lot of NBA players, by the way.
Well, some more than others.
Seemingly. Which is fair. I mean, I'm not faulting it. I'm just saying that it's a thing. Yeah, 14 and 10. 14 and 10, 56% shooting. He never quite developed a 3-point shot either.
We didn't need him to. What we needed him to do was own the basket, both offensively and defensively.
Right.
We needed him to take out the garbage,
which he did sometimes,
right there in front of him,
right.
And he blew it. I came out of my chair losing my mind, seeing him trying to do a finger roll that rolled nowhere. And it cost us. It cost us, the Phoenix Suns, way too much.
Yeah, and I mean, he had good moments. Like I remember that.
And then he turned around and be like, "Oh my gosh, this is what we'd paid for. This is what we'd hoped for. This is what he it should get a max contract someday for." But then it didn't show up enough, and it didn't show up when it mattered. Where there's no way we could give him a max contract.
Yeah, that Clippers series that year, he was so good in that series, and then it just never. And I remember people were thinking like, all right, this is it. Like DeAndre Ayton's taking that next step. Like he dominated this Clippers series. He had his moments in the playoffs. That's it. He's figured it out. And then it just wasn't necessarily consistent game to game. And that was an issue.
Controllable on his end.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like it was an injury. It wasn't like it was just whatever the case. He just decided, I don't care.
He was also involved in that whole Sean Miller thing with Arizona. He was the guy that took all that money And got Arizona and got sweaty Sean Miller in huge trouble too. So that's not that that's his fault. I'm just saying.
I don't know, man. I don't know what it was, but I mean, I think that it was the right move by the Phoenix Suns because look where he is now with the Trailblazers, and they're kind of fed up with him too.
Yeah, he's okay.
There's moments where they're like, "Oh my gosh, look what he's doing now in Portland." See, you guys were wrong, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Nope, you guys were right."
Yep.
He's doing unto them what he did unto us.
Yeah, that's it. DeAndre Ayton.
He doesn't have that killer mentality, man.
It's very frustrating.
It happens with a lot of guys. Some guys get overrated in the draft process too. Like,
I
there's
don't care
no
about
way.
some guys. This was the Suns' best chance at a championship and building, and he took that from us.
Anyone that watched college basketball that year knew deep down that there's no way DeAndre Ayton should have been considered with Trae Young and with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander as to that good of a player. Like the offensive, he had the size, but the archetype offensively, it just wasn't quite there like those guys.
Randy, do you remember which GM drafted DeAndre Ayton?
Sarver was the owner.
I know that. I'm just wondering. I don't think it was James Jones, was it? It was McDonough.
It was McDonough, I think, that drafted him. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't
Ryan
think James
McDonough
Jones did.
So you can't blame Jones for that. So Ryan McDonough doing that makes sense, though, doesn't it?
2018 was his last year. Yeah. Then James Jones took over then in October of 2018. And right when James Jones took over, man, everything went well until the obviously very end when Ishbia bought the team. So
Fighting Wampa says, so after acquiring the Blazers and moving into Seattle, then your second transaction be acquiring the Morrison twins. The Morris brothers.
Oh, the Morris brothers.
One of the two hit on my wife at a Costco gas station. I will acquire their contracts and I'll send them to Siberia.
That's wild.
T-Licious says Ayton needs to swim back to Bahamas. What the hell, man? That's horrible.
I'll bet you
that sounds vaguely almost racist.
Yeah. See, I'll say this. Sometimes it's not even the players' faults. Sometimes it's the media's fault and the GM's fault for just overrating a guy.
No, okay. First off, it's not the media's fault. The GM should know better.
The GM's fault. Well, the media is
supposed to know more than anyone in the media.
Yeah.
And we were absolutely thrilled and supportive of DeAndre Ayton when we learned we won that pick in the lottery. We were thrilled. And I was like, you know what? I remember, Randy, though, I was talking about Jokic at that time. And I said, but you got to go with the sure thing. And DeAndre Ayton looks to be a sure thing.
But it wasn't the sure thing, right? I mean, it turned it out to be.
But I was sitting there eyeballing Jokic saying,
right,
man, if he would just commit to coming to the United States and if he was drafted, I'd be like, that'd be the guy.
You mean Luka?
Luka, sorry.
Yeah.
But anyway, so T-Licious, I get what you're feeling, but easy there. He says, nah, sorry, not sorry. Glad his marshmallow ass is gone.
This is where fans can step over the line and think that they're owed something.
You're right, Moist One. This is the one that doesn't make sense because we were kind of wondering about this too. It says, remember when they drafted Ayton over Luka after hiring Luka's national coach?
Yes, I was going to say that. Yeah, they hired Luka's
thought for sure that maybe it'd be heading that direction.
From Real Madrid. Goodness, that was. And the Kings also passed on Luka. Vlade Divac was their GM and had a strong connection with Luka's family, I believe, or him or his coach or something. And they missed on him too. They took Marvin Bagley at number 2. So Phoenix, at least you're not alone.
We got to take a break. When we come back, we've got On This Date in Big George's sports history. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV wins.
What, are you going to take the RV to the mountains or go pick up your dry cleaning? RV wins! Are we cleaning the gutters or taking the RV camping? RV wins! Are we getting a new passport or cruising up the coast? RV wins!
Don't forget, you got that trip to Sweden coming up.
Oh, yeah, passport, then RV.
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, other insurers, not available in all states and situations.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem.
Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin. And over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
My best friend died suddenly, and now his wife and kids have to move out of their house. I had no idea he didn't have life insurance. If I could go back, I'd tell him how easy and affordable protecting your family can be with SelectQuote. In 15 minutes, a licensed insurance agent found me a $500,000 life insurance policy for only $18 a month. They compare many of the nation's most highly rated insurance carriers to find the right coverage and price for your needs. In the last 40 years, they've helped more than 2 million families secure over $700 billion in coverage. Even if you have a health concern, SelectQuote agents can find you the right policy at the lowest price. Don't wait until it's too late. Get peace of mind that your loved ones are protected with life insurance.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-480-5454 for your free quote today. That's 1-800-480-5454 or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-480-5454. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Step into softness with the carpet upgrade from the Home Depot. Our stylish choices and simple prices make selecting new carpet simple. With our total project price match guarantee and installation starting just 49 cents per square foot, nobody beats our prices. Enjoy our everyday low prices on carpet with the softness and durability to take on anything life throws its way. Refresh with new carpet today from the Home Depot. Base price for standard installations only. Exclusions apply. For licenses, see homedepot.com/license numbers.
1580 The Fanatic. And at 1580thefanatic.com. Your home for sports.
While they're here on 1580 The Fanatic, we're reminiscing about the rise and fall of DeAndre Ayton as a Phoenix Sun. Oof. Silver Pop says, Jeffrey, out of both Suns' disappointing losses in the finals, which player is more at fault for their failure? Danny Ainge for not putting his hands up to block the three-pointer from Paxson.
Oh, boy.
Or Ayton's performance in the finals versus the Bucks.
Yeah.
Danny Ainge, you could say, is a momentary thing, and I never forgave him for that. But DeAndre Ayton's performance, that lackadaisical loss of effort and emotion and just sort of whatever. Golly. Because DeAndre Ayton could have turned it on and we could have won that thing. You know, Danny Ainge, who knows? He put his hands up. Maybe Paxson still drops that three in, right? So
I also think Ayton was more of a strenuous count of performances, and Danny Ainge was just one play.
Yeah. I mean, he was a great player, and I don't know, you can debate whether he was a good coach or not, but did Danny Ainge ever win championships as a coach?
Let's see.
I don't remember, but all I know is,
didn't he win one with the Celtics?
Yeah, he might have. Oh, you mean as a player?
No, as a coach.
Yeah,
no, I don't think he won as a coach. I know he won as a player, and was it 80? He was on the teams in the 80s, 84 and 86. I don't think he won as a player.
All I know is he didn't put his hands up. The three got dropped. The Suns lost the finals to the Bulls. That's all I know, and I never forgave him for that. But I think what DeAndre Ayton didn't do was worse than what Danny Ainge didn't do. Do you think I'm right, Randy, or you think
I think Ainge was a moment in time. Ayton,
he was a three machine, man.
Yeah,
he helped
Ayton
get them there.
Ayton was he never came to fruition as a number one overall pick. Now,
Danny
if we would have
Ainge
got
had
him
a moment that broke my heart, but DeAndre Ayton just was a disappointment.
There you go.
That's
there you
it.
go. Yeah.
Sorry, Randy. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
Lost Toby says Ayton was a lock.
Good one.
Just the Tip says, do the Suns have more hits or misses when drafting top 10 over the last 20 years? Well, considering we have no championships to brag on or to point towards, I don't know. I mean,
there's been a lot of misses. There's been a lot of misses. I know. Let's see. We'll start. So you said last 10 years, Josh Jackson at pick 4, 2017, 2016, Dragon Bender at pick 4, 2015, Devin Booker was a hit. 2019 was Jared Culver. That ended up being traded. Jalen Smith at pick 10, Deron Sharp at pick 29, Deron Holmes last year. Alex Len, 2013, Kendall Marshall, 2012, Markieff Morris, Earl Clark, 2009. There's a ton of misses on here.
Moist One says Ainge was a GM for the Celtics. Doc Rivers was the coach.
Yeah. Ainge, but Ainge was a head coach, I think, in Phoenix, right?
Somewhere
like towards the
him,
late
maybe.
90s.
Yeah.
He won championships as a player and as an executive.
Just not
as
for us.
Not as a head coach. Just not for y'all. No.
Man, that's a sore spot for me.
I get it.
That is a very sore spot for me.
Yeah.
By the way, speaking of sore spots, I say horse racing is not a sport.
Yes.
Yeah.
And well, I guess Sovereignty's victory in the Kentucky Derby has been tainted because he was whipped too much. The Horse Racing Integrity and Safety Authority allows riders to whip their horses 6 times during the race. Okay, so I understand limiting it so you're not just beating some poor animal.
Me too.
But why 6?
I don't know how they came up with that.
Why not 7? Why not none?
I don't know how they came up with that.
Sovereignty's jockey, Junior Alvarado, smacked him 8 times. And it was the second time he violated that rule in 180 days. Now, because of that, he has been fined $62,000, which turns out to be 20% of his $310,000 in Derby winnings. And then he's also been suspended from racing for 2 days.
I think he should be whipped 8 times.
I think they should they should whip him the 2 extra times. If you're allowed to 6, then just let the horse have a shot at it.
Well, I think he should be whipped 8 times.
Let the horse take the whip.
Mm.
You know?
Junior says
somebody needs to step in, man.
Junior knows he messed up. He says,
right.
I couldn't keep track of it. It was a big race. There's so much you got in your mind there. I couldn't keep track of what number whip I was on.
Yeah.
But that's, all right. So that's $62,000 worth, I guess. Sovereignty's owner already said he won't compete in the Preakness, so he will not win the Triple Crown. Okay. That's an interesting thing, though. That's an interesting thing. 6 is okay. 5 is okay.
I wonder how they
7 is too much.
How did they come up with that? Makes me wonder if it's like studies or something, or maybe they're just like, we'll call it this number.
Either you allow or you just don't. I don't think there's a number that you can. If you took a belt to me, I don't think I'd negotiate a number that's that makes sense. Versus, that's too much.
Right? Probably, that's because if you're getting a belt,
I
probably did something wrong.
Also, because I can talk and say, hey, don't whip me. A horse can't. A horse doesn't have a choice in what is happening, and whether it's racing or just having a fun time or doing. So that's what I'm saying. It's not a sport.
I'd love
if the
to
horse
hear.
Can't choose what they're doing. It's not a sport.
Well, then again, it goes back to this: is NASCAR a sport?
The car is an inanimate object. The horse is a sentient being. Against the Spread says there is no chance the Suns were going to beat the Bulls in '93. Suns were down 2-0 and 3-1 in that series. Chicago was in full control. Suns were up 2-0 in 21 and dumped 4 games in a row because Giannis ripped Ayton's heart out and put it in a doggy bag. Well, we never will know about the thing with the Bulls and the Suns because Danny Ainge didn't put his hands up. Danny Ainge didn't put his hands up.
He didn't put his hands up, but to say they were never in the series,
they were
as I recall, that was game 6 or 7, wasn't it?
6.
6. Yeah.
So they win that game, goes to a game 7. Who knows what could happen?
I
don't think they were. I think they were in that series. Maybe for a short time. The Bulls weren't as dominant against the Suns as you might remember.
All right, I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Okay, let's not.
It's time now for On This Date in Big George's sports history.
Back to the year 1904, Charlotte Lottie Dodd of England, already an international field hockey player, a champion figure skater, an Olympic silver medalist in archery, and the youngest ever Wimbledon tennis champion at the age of 15, in 1887, defeated May Heslett to win the British Ladies Open Golf Tournament at Troon. My gosh, are we sure she wasn't the athlete of the 20th century?
Of the century.
My God. Yeah, during World War I, she also received a service medal by the Red Cross for serving more than 1,000 hours during the war as a nurse. So,
Wow.
Yeah, Lottie Dodd. How about that? Charlotte Lottie Dodd.
Yeah. Lottie Dodd. Holy crap.
Yeah, man.
At 17,
that's where
too,
that came from. But Lottie Dodd.
Yeah. Good
Or
pull,
did they
Big George.
name her that so they could, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Maybe.
she changed it. Maybe that sounds like the name of a pop star.
That's a
Charlotte
hell of a
Lottie
thing, though.
Dodd. That's not like
Hell of a thing that, all these sports she's a star of. I mean, if that were today, can you imagine?
Oh man. I mean, if it were today, a war going, that would be crazy. But
no, I don't mean the war. I'm talking about her in all these different sports. She did archery, she did tennis, she did golf, she was figure skating, she was in field hockey. All of these things she was great at. And most people, maybe you get to be great at one thing. Maybe you get to be a great figure skater, but something has to suffer, but not her. Everything she did, she
thrived.
was good at.
This is greatest women athlete of all time. I'm going to go out, and if this discussion ever starts, I'm going to say, because people are going to be saying, oh, Serena Williams, Simone Biles. I'm going to be like, nah, it's Charlotte Lottie Dodd.
Well, do your research.
Everyone's going to look at me like, dude, who the heck is that? I'm going to be like,
look her up. Do your Googling. I'll give you the
smart.
name again. It's Charlotte D-O-D. Dodd is spelled just D-O-D. Charlotte Lottie is her nickname, Dodd. Charlotte D-O-D Dodd. And look her up and look at her, what she was able to accomplish. Maybe Serena Williams is still going to be that person. You don't know. All you know is what I just said right here. But do some research.
So
on
Lottie
that.
Dodd is her nickname.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Well,
Dang
Lottie
it.
is her nickname. D-O-D Dodd is her last name. So and she's English. So you know.
Minus 5 points.
I expect your answers and decision tomorrow.
Yes. That's a fair expectation, Jeffrey.
For the rest of you, no homework, just for Harris.
Yep, just for me.